in-game Esports South Asia Cup Dota 2 Championship. Bangladesh, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, $1,500 prize pool. Be crowned kings of South Asian Dota. Organized by In-Game Esports, powered by Intel.
Hello and welcome everyone to the In-Game Esports South Asia Cup online powered by Intel. I'm your caster Nightblade and with me is Terra.
Hi guys, so we do have the playoffs happening. We did see the first playoff match take place yesterday. It was Portal Esports taking on My Revenge, and today, it was Global Esports taking on My Revenge, and today we have Portal Esports going up against Recreational Hazard. Two friendly teams.
Yeah.
Both I think has the potential of taking this match. Portal looks a little bit stronger, but I feel like that's it'll come down to the draft and how they keep up with the pressure during the game.
Yeah, I mean they probably have strats against each other. They probably know each other's heroes, and here we see the playoffs bracket on the second game of round one. Recreational Hazard, both of them, just friendly teams knowing each other. It's going to be a fun match to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, the loser of the match will drop down to the losers bracket to face off against My Revenge, who lost yesterday. They did take a game off against Global Esports, which was a really good game. Game number one. Completely cheesed with the Spirit Breaker Darkseid. We might see stuff like that happening today, especially when it comes to these South Asian teams, right? South Asian teams are people who follow the meta up to only a certain degree. I feel like South Asian players have their own type of play style. They have their own favorite heroes where they don't completely go with the meta at the current time. They have a few heroes that they pick from the meta, like the Alchemist or Ench, but most of the heroes that they pick up afterwards are just like their comfort heroes and the strats that they have come up with.
Yeah, I feel like they need to probably, play with European teams more or stuff like that to get used to their sort of Dota. But for now, that we just scrim within the region, so we have our type of Dota, I guess, is one way to say it. So obviously, this game, it's gonna be, a little bit Portal favored. But let's say when you're playing against a good team, what do you usually want to do? Do you think the cheese strat like My Revenge did was, especially something you want to look to?
I think cheese strats work as well as playing to your comfort. I think we have seen teams where you don't care about the meta at all. You just pick your comfort heroes, and then you perform your best on those heroes, and that kind of gives you the edge over someone who's trying to outdraft you. And the fact that you pick out of meta and pick something that is of comfort to you, kind of throws the other team off as well, because they're like, why are they picking this hero? Like, this hero is not even in the meta. What is he actually?
Or they're not like used to playing him. Like after a patch, there's like a Slark pick, and you're not used to playing with Slark, and then you might not pick up Glimmer Capes on supports or something, and you just you forget like, okay, 4-staff breaks leash,
Little things.
Yeah, small things.
And that happens because when you pick out a meta, people are used to playing that meta heroes all the time, and then there's an out of meta hero, then suddenly you have to think on the spot.
Yeah.
Which a lot of players don't do.
Especially in the draft, right? Like when you see, like, let's say nobody picks Pangolier or Timbersaw for a very long time, then you just blank out on what heroes are amazing against Timbersaw. I've had that issue sometimes when I've been drafting and I see this hero like Slark, and I'm like, okay, oh god, what's good against Slark? I haven't played against this hero in a while.
Yeah, I mean, Slark was probably, I think, one of the heroes that we did for like an year or something.
Yeah.
And even in this current patch, Slark is viable only in certain situations. He's not like a go-to carry pick that people go just pick up. I think it's a very, very hero-specific pickup, the Slark.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that, but I feel like this game is going to be interesting just because we have Recreational Hazard, who is a team that can pull something out of the bag. They're not a bad team at all.
Yeah, I mean they've come already in the playoffs. Right? Yeah,
so they are a really decent team, and Portal also has shown that they are forced to be reckoned with. I think when it comes to the teams that can give Global Esports, which right now looks to be the favorites to win the entire thing, run for their money, I think Portal Esports and Recreational Hazard has a really good chance from what I have seen during the group stages. Yeah,
and I think either team need to be careful not to get knocked down to the losers bracket, because My Revenge do have cheese strats.
Yes.
So they, even if one of them, unfortunately, when they do, one of them has to get knocked into the lower bracket, they have to deal with, My Revenge's cheese.
Yeah, and that team plays a very fast-paced game as well. If they are in their comfort zone and they get a just a small, like it doesn't have to be a significant lead in the early game. They get a small lead in the early game. They are a team that transfers that into their mid game, and they play very fast-paced Dota. We saw My Revenge during that first game. They did not let up, and that's what that's the main reason that they won against that draw from Portal East. Because if they let up even a bit, Naga gets space, Naga farms, and then you're running into a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, but then from game 2 and 3 from Global Esports, we saw how methodically and structured they are as a team to just take the game one by one and be like, okay, that game they drafted Cheese against us, Darkseer, Spirit Breaker combo, and pretty early game they got a lot of momentum and they won the game. Okay, let's draft against that and just draft to our style more than draft against what they're picking.
And of course, we do have the award for the tournament MVP, the Intel NUC. Such a compact device, and it packs one hell of a punch. An i7 processor with that integrated Radeon RX Vega graphic card, and of course the 1 TB SSD. And it's an NVMe SSD as well. It's not a separate SSD. Or what do you call it? It is the integrated SSD basically. It's the fastest out of all the SSDs that came out.
Yeah, it's so portable, it's so small, and all that. That's all because the graphics card and the processor is just put into one chip.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it so compact and so easy to use and to take wherever you want to go with it.
Yeah, and for a gamer, you have all the ports that you could possibly need in a laptop or a PC. I mean, laptop does not have this many.
No.
and sometimes the current day desktops even don't have this many ports. And if you're a gamer, you want your headset, your keyboard, your mouse, your external hard disk. You have a lot of peripherals that you plug in, and this allows you to have everything, including Thunderbolt ports and the USB-C. You have the network connectivity. Everything possible under the sun is here. And even an SD card reader. I think I saw an SD card reader. Taking a look here, and it's very portable, mind you. Like, you can carry this around in your bag when you go to college. And majority of the gamers, they're either studying or in college right now, and you want to have that capability of being able to game on the go because you're restrained for time, and you want to be able to just go to college, plug it into a monitor, and be able to game. And it's a really good device to game on.
And it also has, and you can play anything you want on it. It's super powerful, even if you want to, do VR stuff. And this is, this is the device for you if you really want it.
And the skull logo that comes on when you switch on the
Very
device.
Cool.
Yeah. For a gamer, those aesthetics matter. I mean, RGB is the newest craze right now.
Yeah.
And having a skull like this come up on the device when you power it on, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
And of course, it's called Hades Canyon as well. We call it the Intel NUC. It is branded the Hades Canyon, which I think for a gaming device is pretty cool.
Yeah, and we also have the HyperX Cloud 2 headset for a few winners here, the Gamer's Choice winner, which will be voted by you at home. You can vote for the Gamer's Choice winner and the best support player, the best carry player, the Unkillable award, as well as the tournament MVP.
So tournament MVP is going to be a very happy man. He's going to be walking away the prize money as well as the Intel NUC as well as the HyperX Cloud 2 as well.
Yeah, he's very happy when he wins this.
He's going to be the happiest guy in the tournament. So much, I mean, these are not cheap devices. The Intel NUC itself is a very expensive device, and it is made for those elite gamers who want to, take their esports career to the next level, and you want to be having devices like this if you want to keep on gaming with the lifestyle.
Especially if you want, convenience.
Yes.
It helps a lot where we can take your PC in your hand wherever you want to go.
And for gamers, man, you want those high-end devices. I mean, why do we buy a mechanical keyboard with RGB?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need RGB, but it's the whole aesthetics of being a gamer.
Yeah. And it's like just something you might want, It's something that I want, to be completely honest. I really want.
My setup is RGB.
No, I mean, like getting something like the NUC for me would be really helpful because I travel quite a bit as well. So I like to take, if I could take, something like this everywhere I go, it would be really helpful.
Especially in Sri Lanka, if you go outstation or something, you won't have internet cafes and stuff. You want to have a very portable, powerful device to carry around with you. And taking a laptop is always a hassle. Whereas you take the Intel NUC, just plug it into a display, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So very good device. Of course, the match that we're getting into is going to be a BO3 between Portal Esports and Recreational Hazard. And the winner, of course, will be moving on to the semi-finals of the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Because we have just 4 teams in the playoffs. So the semi-final, the winner of this will be moving on to face off against Global Esports in the tournament semi-finals.
Yeah, and I mean, that will be a really good match to watch, I think. Whoever wins this, the next game, I mean, the semi-final game is going to be very exciting. So
for sure.
Yeah, so if you guys, I think that, I'm not too sure if it's going to happen tomorrow or day after.
I think it's day after, right?
Day after. Tomorrow is the lower bracket, right. So make sure you stay tuned in for the Thursday, as well as the other games, because My Revenge can pull out the cheese strats, like we said. So those will be a lot of fun to watch if we do, you know, get those Spirit Breaker Dark Seers, or even the Brood Mother, which she has to play a little bit better than before. But yeah.
And I feel like the platform here is really great because majority of the teams, like the top tier teams, they know each other, but a lot of the players or the casual gamers in South Asia, when it comes to Dota 2, they don't know who the top players in your region is. And having a platform like this to, you know, have yourself recognized, not just in your own country, but in the countries in your region, I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, and here we are into the draft right now. Portal Esports picking up the Ogre as they have the first pick. They banned the Lina, Legion, Skywrath Mage, and Recreational Hazard have banned Shadow Demon, Alchemist, and the Mirana.
I'm wondering what the Legion... I feel like the Portal Esports bans are very specific towards Recreational Hazard.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see Lina, Legion Commander, Skywrath being banned during the first phase.
Yeah, I mean, Skywrath Mage and Legion Commander are a good combo. That is one thing.
True.
And maybe they're really good at it. And we see the Enchantress being picked up by Recreational Hazard. Very good first pick. And I think that's going to be tiny. No, okay, so Winter Wyvern.
And this is actually not too bad because the Enchia is going to be basically unkillable.
Yeah.
By the looks of it right now. There is no way that anyone is going to be killing the Ench while the Wyvern is there to back him up. And Wyvern is someone who is good against Naga as well to a certain degree, just because Naga wants to use that sleep as a setup or to get away. And
also, he has a lot of AoE, you know, in general. Like the Splinter Blast is really good against the illusions.
Yeah. Especially during that early game, Naga is not going to be very happy with his illusions being taken out.
But I mean, this is the way Global Esports lost, right? They picked up their Naga in the first phase, and then My Revenge just completely answered with this all-out, you know, aggressive draft. So Recreational Hazard still hasn't picked up their mid-hero to set the tempo. The Enchantress is already good. As soon as she hits 6, she's very strong. The Wyvern is good anyway as soon as he hits 6. So they can still turn this into a very aggressive draft if they want to against this Naga. So they have banned out the Ember Spirit on the side of Recreational Hazard.
Bit of a problem there because I feel like they could leave the Ember in the pool.
I mean, it's good against Enchantress, right? That's why I think they removed it.
But of course, it is really good against Naga. So if they had wanted to pick it up,
that's true.
And they did ban out the Batrider as well. They pick up the Leshrac. So Leshrac also was left out in the pool, and this is a really good pickup because if Portal Esports got it, Ench should have been in a lot of trouble. Yeah. Because this hero is extremely good against Ench.
Yeah, and it's really good against Naga as well. It just clears out the illusions, and it makes sure you can have this early game, not early game, sort of a mid-game push lineup with this Edict, as well as any 2 items on Leshrac. You can always go high ground with it. Like, he's that strong, and Naga might not be prepared when Leshrac gets, you know, hits his timings.
Yeah. I feel like Portal should have banned the Lesh instead of the Death Prophet. Meepo, I understand the Meepo ban, you don't want to get chased, but I think Death Prophet is not a hero that, I mean, really needs I feel like it's not ban worthy, you can always counter it in the lane. And Lesh is just so good against Naga. It's good against any illusion based hero like Naga or PL. The hero excels at dealing with these illusions. But on the top side, Portal Esports got their hands on the A, which is basically destroys Ench as well as Winter Wyvern. Yeah,
it really messes up with the Enchantress. Winter Wyvern less so, but just this, and also like if you ever get an Octarine on Leshrac, Ancient Apparition just gets better. So this hero scales without any items, which makes this position 5 support really good. So the less support, he's not going to have the most gold, but he still scales with just being in the game, just because of his ultimate being so useful. And I think they banned the Death Prophet just so they don't get run down, because Death Prophet can obviously take towers very early, and they just didn't want any sort of, you know, death ball lineup.
I feel like the Death Prophet works well with the Recreational Hazard drop also, just because of the amount of heals that you have with the Ench as well as the Wyvern.
So then there's one more pick going to come out from Recreational Hazard for this phase, and I think they want to go. I mean, they did pick up their mid, so they want to pick their position 4 here. Probably not going to reveal their carry just yet.
I feel like a Tiny is really good here.
Yeah, Tiny sounds really strong here.
Tiny is open and he's one of the strongest heroes in the meta right now.
Very true.
And you can run in position 4, put him mid even, and you can put the Lesh on position 4 even.
There's still the Earth Spirit as well. I mean, that's always a, hero you can just pick up and do okay with, because it has everything. It has the slow, the stun, and the silence as well, with the AoE damage. So it's just an all-round good hero, someone who can pick up.
Best a roaming position 4 that you have in the game.
Yeah, I mean, not right now. I think Tiny is just better right now. He's just stronger. But then he's one of the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we see Sven being picked up just to deal with the Naga. So they're picking their carry. So I think they're pretty happy with their lineup. Maybe the Ench could be position 5, like we saw in one of the, I think, the first game of the previous series. So they could run the Wyvern 4. It's not the, I mean, it's not bad, because when you can deal with the illusions in the lane as well with the Wyvern then. So Naga wants to use her illusions in the lane to either farm or to harass the enemy, but Wyvern can use one Splinter Blast and just deal with all the illusions. So we could put the Wyvern in the offlane as well. So right now Recreation Hazard's draft is pretty versatile. And on Portal Esports, they do pick up the Queen of Pain, which is...
That is going to be their mid, and I feel like it's a reasonable pick, because Recreation Hazard does not have a lot of lockdown, and they need to get off the the Split Earth, and that in general requires setup, and you have only the Sven stun.
And also the Wyvern ult, but then that's usually the Queen of Pain is not in range for Wyvern ult. And the Queen of Pain is just really good, in my opinion, just because you can burst down the Ench, burst down the Leshrac. You know, just these bursty heroes that you can take, because when the Sven fights without 5 heroes around him, he gets a little weaker, I feel like. And also Naga has one less to deal with, sort of, and it helps Naga a lot when you delete one person out of the fight early in the team fight. So I think this co-op pick is really good. I think right now Portal Esports have the better draft, just based on if the co-op gets rolling. You know, she's a momentum-based hero. She needs kills. She can't really just sit in the lane and farm.
If you lose the lane, that hero becomes absolutely useless, because it does farm reasonably well with the stream, but that hero
doesn't scale.
Yeah, it doesn't scale. You need that hero to be above the rest of them to be able to scale in the game.
Yeah, I mean, she needs her 25 to be relevant. Like, she feels like a TA, but not as strong as a TA.
Yeah.
But for this game, it looks like she is pretty strong, honestly. And we see a Tide being banned out by Recreational Hazard here. Tide, I think that's a good ban. They need someone tanky on Portal Esports to be able to just frontline here. They have the Ogre, but some 1+1 more is probably pretty nice too.
Yeah, and the Tide does really well against the Sven during the laning stage.
That's true.
Sven, being a melee carry, it's not going to be happy running into Anchor Smash all the time. And they don't really have deep push for the Tide, because you want someone like a Jakir or someone who can harass the Tide out of the lane, where he cannot just walk forward and keep Anchor Smashing.
Ooh, Brewmaster being picked up by Portal, which is pretty nice in this lane, to be completely honest. Yeah,
I absolutely love this, because even during the team fight, right, early levels, Storm Planner just puts the Sven up in the air, and the GS Sven is going to be extremely sad.
Yeah, just putting the Sven up in the air makes a Naga able to deal with all the other heroes, so it's pretty nice. There's nothing much you can dispel here. Maybe, I don't know if you can dispel Nature's Intendants, but we'll see, I guess. And we see an Invoker being picked up here.
So, is it going to be a support Invoker or a support Leshrac? That's my question.
I think right now it looks like it's going to be a support Invoker, right? Because the Leshrac is just good here as a core against the other cores. So why not give some farm to the Leshrac instead of the Invoker? Invoker can do okay, I feel like, against Naga as well, but I think all the Invoker does really against Naga is the AM, like draining her mana. So you can do the same thing on a position 4. So just rather put him as position 4.
Yeah, but the problem here is going to be, like, he doesn't allow, give enough pressure during the laning stage against the Brewmaster, as well as even if he's put in the Naga lane, he doesn't pressure the Naga enough as a hero. Like, Invoker is Invoker as a support, it's like you have like what, 4 damage on your
cold snap per proc. It's not strong.
Yeah,
for sure. At level 1 maybe not, but then as soon as you get the Tornado EMP, you have ways to bait them out of position, because it is still like a long duration stun sort of with the cold snap if you have those constant damage on whoever they're targeting. So it could lock someone like the support down in place for quite a while, especially if it's like an AA or something. You can easily go on the AA with cold snap and tornado. So it's not going to be too hard to get kills, I think, with this Invoker if they can play it right. But we haven't seen too much of this position 4 Invokers played right this tournament, so
sure.
We'll see how it goes.
It was My Revenge tried to run it in game number 2, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday, and it didn't really work out for them. Like, that hero needs levels, he needs to be ahead of the game. I feel like they need to...
I think they need a winning lane, right?
Yeah, winning lane, for sure.
Yeah.
Because once you get the earn on Invoker, then that hero becomes extremely strong.
Yeah, then you don't need another hero to proc the cold snap all the time. So then you're much stronger. But then getting to that urn and getting to those, you know, the level where the cold snap really affects anyone with damage, you know, you need to get there. That's like probably 7 or something. So you do have the tome for that, but you need to have winning lane as well.
True. Definitely going to be interesting. I think the Brewmaster is going to have a decent lane. He's up against Sven Wyvern most probably.
Yeah.
And Brew is going to be okay in that lane. I mean,
yeah, he should be okay. Yeah, he should be.
Really kill the Brew unless the Brew messes up.
Yeah.
Completely.
Unless he gets hit by like 3 Splinter Blasts, he's okay.
Yeah. And during like Splinter Blast also, like it needs to be leveled up enough to be dealing enough.
Yeah, but that Splinter Blast is like such a strong spell. As soon as it's level 2, it just does ridiculous amounts of damage. So I think the only time Brewmaster is really scared in the lane is when the Sven is like 4 and the Wyvern is 3 or something. Yeah. Then he might die, but then it's very unlikely because when he uses his 3rd skill, he just runs away. So he's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, the mid lane is going to be a bit of a skill matchup because Copper's Leshrac, like I feel like both heroes just farms in that lane.
Yeah, I feel like you can't really go dagger him too, right? Yeah. Because he's just going to split earth you if you try to go dagger him. He's going to like lightning and split earth. And I mean, you can blink out, but you don't really like blinking out.
Exactly.
Just for no reason. So I mean.
And you can bait out the blink also. You can fake use that split earth
yeah.
to bait out the blink. Yeah. And the other thing is like even after the Cop gets level 6 or levels up enough, he cannot just blink in and try to kill the Leshrac. You're always going to take so much of damage, and if you always have the fear of getting caught to a Splinter Blast. So I feel like that lane is just going to be farming.
Yeah. Unless, you know, one of the supports rotate in, you know, it's going to be not easy for... I mean, Ogre can always come and stun and kill the Leshrac with the Quap ult, but it's going to be... It needs to happen. Like, the lanes need to be okay enough for the Ogre to rotate from. So that, I mean, hopefully the Leshrac can, you know... I think even the Leshrac, if he gets support, can he kill the Quap? Probably not, right?
If the Quap has...
There's not enough lockdown just for the Leshrac, I think, to just kill the Quap outright. And we're into the game here. This Invoker... Oh, it looks like it might be an Invoker mid. See shared tangos on him.
So it's going to be a Lesh support?
Yeah.
Which is weird because Lesh is so good against Naga. I mean, it should have been run as a core, I feel like. But we did see the downside of picking that Invoker because if the Invoker is not mid, he does not give enough for the laning stage, and they're actually switching up lanes, right? Because they are putting the Enchantress against the Brewmaster and the Sven against the Naga, which is a really good choice.
I think the Enchantress enchant dispels the Drunken Haze from the Brewmaster, so just having that matchup is really good for Enchantress. It's just like when you think Ursa is really good against Enchantress because of the overpower, but then she just dispels it with her enchant. So something like that against the Brewmaster. Brewmaster is not going to have the best time if it's against an Enchantress, to be completely honest. But you can see the Brewmaster predicting this. So Portal Esports put the Brewmaster top
immediately being put to the top lane.
Yeah, I think it was just the ward coming from the Ogre there, just scouting out the Enchantress going into the bot lane. So really good support wards there.
Invoker messing up the block a little bit here.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah, that's not a bit actually. That's quite a bit. And Shizzy is going to be really happy. Oh, Shizzy, that's the name that I was looking for from Portal Esports.
Yeah.
So this guy is a player who has been around for a really long time, as old as the likes of...
He's a Tinker player, right?
Yeah, Tinker TA. This guy is really good, mind you. I remember him running into a SACO when it wasn't SACO at the time, but it was the combined Sri Lankan team, which was really strong. And this guy used to destroy.
Yeah, and hopefully we can see him destroy here too. I mean, he got a good block. He's already level 2. Invoker level 2 as well, but it's hard to lane against a Quap, to be completely honest, as an Invoker. You can't really do too much.
What do you think? Do you think he will go for the Quadsworks, or do you think he'll switch it up?
I think he will go Exort, right? Because you want to be able to deal with these illusions, but top lane, we might see
top lane Splitter is going to be there as well. On to the Brewmaster. This might be first blood. A couple of more right clicks. The Drunken is not going to be enough, and that is first blood going towards Recreational. Can they get this return kill though? I don't think so. There is another Splinter Blood, Splitter coming from the Leshrac, but he is going to hold on to it because Ogre is just way too tanky, and you'll just be wasting mana at that point.
Yeah, and I think they're pretty happy with that trade. I mean, as a tri lane, you always want to get kills, otherwise it's just not worth tri laning. So getting that kill really sets the pace for this lane, and in the bot lane, Enchantress is pretty happy in this lane. I feel like she doesn't really get bullied. She's just fine. If Naga uses her illusion, she can even take an illusion if she really wants to.
Yeah.
So she's not really sad about that lane. So this tri lane is pretty nice coming from Recreational Hazard here, hoping to get that little bit of an early lead coming into this game against the Naga.
Where do you think? Do you think that the Cop is going to be having kill potential on this Invoker?
No, not right now, right? He's gonna be.
And even at level 6, right? Unless the Worker like messes up completely.
I mean, I think the only way she gets a kill is at level 5.
Yeah.
If the Invoker, steps out of bounds, then Cop might have the chance to get a solo kill onto the Invoker. But other than that, it might be a little bit too hard to get a kill onto him. Maybe with the 6, if the Invoker is like 3/4 of the HP down, then he can if she has the mana for it. But I don't think there's going to be too many solo kills in this lane. And we see the AA just taking all the time he can to harass her, because he knows that once she gets like untouchable level 2 or the heal level 2, he can't do anything in this lane. I mean, she's just going to press E and all of her health comes back. So it's very hard to play against.
So a bit of a pull going on in that top lane as well. We do see the last hits wise, like they are all equal right now. Even the Invoker is doing really well against Cop, even though we expected that to be a very bad matchup for the Voker. And he's keeping up with La. He's actually ahead of the Queen of Pin, which is really good for the Invoker. And bottom lane, I mean, this is going to be a farming lane for the Naga. But on top of that, the Inch is also going to be farming. I mean, they can't really pressure this Inch out of the lane.
I mean, the A is going to pressure her a lot right now for the first few levels, but then she's going to be fine in a little bit. And as soon as she hits that impetus, level 6 with impetus, then nobody can stay in that lane on the side of Portal Esports. Like, maybe not even the Brewmaster actually. I just think they leave the lane or try to gank her with multiple heroes, like with the Quap, and try to get a kill and make sure she's shut down.
And I think they 100% need the Quap at that point to be able to kill the Inch. I think Ogre alone, maybe with the Brewmaster, but I feel like Brewmaster is not enough. They need burst damage, which
Quap is like, you just rotate Quap +1 stun, and then she's probably dead with the Scream of Fin and the Sonic Wave.
Sven is not getting pressured at all in this top lane. He is very happy.
But Naga as well. So both of them, farming fine. And I mean, mid matchup is only 3 CS apart, so it's not that big of a difference. But I mean, this Invoker getting farm is kind of scary, because going into the mid game, if Invoker has this 16-minute Aghanim Scepter, you don't really want to dive him, right? He's pretty tanky, and as a Quap, you want to be getting these kills around the map, especially core kills, because the more core kills you get, the more objectives you can successfully, get after that, and you don't want to play late game with a Quap, right?
And Shizzy is actually getting pressured quite a bit. I think he cannot just outright pressure the Invoker in this situation, because the Invoker has decided to go for that Quas Rex build, and he has some other region with multiple Quas Orbs coming into play. And
I know, this Leshak might be in trouble here.
Top lane Lesh in a lot of trouble. It will be a kill towards Portal Esports there. Just getting caught out of position. Immediate tips going towards the Lesh.
But the runes, who will be able to get it here?
Ogre waiting for it. He does have the stun. He's going to use it with those stick charges, and the Queen of Pets joins the fight as well. Sven might actually go down. He gets slowed up by the Thunderclap from the Brewmaster, chasing the Sven down, and he will get taken out. A good rotation there by Shizzy coming in for that rune. They did lose the rune, but I think they're happy with it.
They're okay. Because they lost 2 runes, and then I think Portal Esports only got 1 rune there. For the AA got 1 rune. So you really want runes in this game. You want to at least get 2 for 2. With that rotation, especially I think she has a bottle too, so she wants to fill up her bottle as well. So that's also kind of a thing. Because when you're expecting to get the rune, so you want to use your bottle charges and go there, get a kill, and then refill your bottle and go back to the mid lane.
I think the Quap was just a little bit late with the rotation.
Just a little bit late. If she was a little bit earlier there, they would have got the rune. That would have made them happy. Now they're like, it's okay,
I think a second or 2 earlier would have been just fine. He was just a couple of seconds late to that.
But that gives the Invoker a little bit more space to get ahead of the Queen of Pain by quite a bit. And you can see his build, he went for the Basilius, which kind of helps him quite a bit with the...
Cold Snap into the EMP, just not enough. I think if all 3 creeps are hitting, maybe a meanwhile top lane, the Brewmaster is in a lot of trouble, gets split up as well. But the Sven falling down low, they might actually bring him down, but the Splinter Blast from the Y1, they will turn things around and get the overkill here as well, because I think there's another stun coming from the Sven. The Splinter misses, and the Sven does not want to chase. I mean, it is really not worth to dive the tower for Ogre.
Yeah.
They're going to be really happy with that Brew kill.
Yeah, they're just happy to pressure this Brew, because Brew really needs
but now the Sven goes back in. I'm not sure that was the play, and the Split Earth is just not going to be enough to keep him alive. I'm not sure what the Sven was thinking there.
Yeah, he kind of, I don't know why he went in with such low HP. They know he has Thunderclap, they know Ogre has mana. Maybe they thought they could turn there with I don't know how many one charges he had on Sven, but maybe they thought maybe with the one charges we could turn, but unfortunately it wasn't enough.
On top side though, now the Brewmaster does not have enough regen to hold this lane, and they actually switched it up.
Oh, impetus!
Oh my god, the damage! The miss is going to be there, but it's not going to be enough. They will take him down. Meanwhile, the Lezrak will die in return, but no, the heal from the Wyvern.
He's here though.
Yeah, the Queen of Pain TP's in with that Sonic Wave, cleans up the kill on Lezrak, but I mean, you use your Sonic Wave for a position 4.
I mean, you have to get kills with Cop by rotating, so just for the fact that she TP'd up, she needs to get something off of it.
Yeah.
So rather secure the kill on the bot lane, the AA is going to go down here.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy kill for Recreational Hazard there. Good rotation there from the Lezrak. Yeah. He went down top lane and immediately came bottom to get the kill. And Naga,
she's fine.
Yeah, Naga is okay.
Yeah, now she's just going to probably go into the jungle. She already has her 3 wraith bands. She's going to get her treads, and then she's going to head to the jungle and just farm. And just, you know.
Right now things look really even. There are a couple of stacks for the Naga already been done by the supports on the side of Portal Esports. I mean, you need this. Like, stacking is just part and parcel of being a support. While you're walking around in the map, you just try and get as many stacks off as possible, especially when you have heroes like Sven, Naga in your team.
Yeah. And even like usually on Naga, you don't always get stacks, but when you do get stacks, it makes your timings even faster. Yep. Like she's probably gonna get, if they keep stacking like this, she's gonna get her items by 18 minutes, and that's gonna be a very strong timing for Portal Esports, because then the Invoker, even with an Aghanims only, it's just not enough. But if the Naga has, you know, Diffusal plus Manta style. And Leshrac obviously is not the core of this game, so he's not going to have enough mana to sustain his Nova.
And meanwhile, Shizzy is going to be actually, I mean, Shizzy has fallen behind a little bit to the Invoker, just because he had to leave the lane multiple times, once for the rune and once for that kill on the top lane, and Invoker is doing really well. He does have the cold stun, keeping the Invoker, I mean the Queen of Pain in place, and will lose most of his mana pool. I don't think he will be able to get off that cold feet onto the Invoker.
No way. Invoker's fine. Invoker's fine here. And she uses Sonic Wave as well, so there's no plan on going on the Invoker here. And here we have a beautiful picture of the Naga.
Yeah. No cosmetics though.
No cosmetics.
I have better cosmetics on Naga.
Yes.
And I don't play Naga.
Doesn't make any difference. But if you see the Leshrac rotating in, he doesn't use Split Earth, but he's going to be fine. They're going to do a lot of damage onto the tower with the double of CDK.
Because they know that the Sonic Wave is down as well.
Yeah.
And they are...
Ogre.
The Wyvern caught in a bad position here, and he will get taken out. Stuck in no man's land. The cold feet proc as well. He's going to be stunned up, and he will get taken out. So Shizzy is going to be very happy. He just got a free kill delivered to his lane.
Yeah, and that makes him very happy. He really wants those kills this game. That's the only way he's going to snowball, since he's been rotating around the map a lot. He wants these kills, he wants the XP, and obviously the Ogre is one of the heroes that you can always set up kills with. So Ogre needs to be doing something as well, and he needs to get levels somehow as well. So getting the kill with the Ogre helps a lot. And we've seen the bot lane here. I think they're going to contest for runes, but it's going to be 3 for 2 maybe here. So AA getting a rune in the top.
3 for 1.
3 for 1, sorry.
Yeah. So Portal making up for not being able to get those the 5-minute bounties.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting 3 at the 10-minute mark.
It's true, but the Invoker has been, it might be in trouble here, but should
Sonic
be fine.
Wave is there, and he would have had Cyclone and Ghost Walk both. Sure. It's not going to be an easy kill for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good part about playing the Cross.
Another EMP onto the Pop.
Pop is going to get stunned up. He loses mana for the Sonic Wave. Pops his one charge. He does have it. The Queen of Pain brings forward where that Sonic Wave will be able to clean that kill up by the heal from the Winter Wyvern, keeping the Invoker alive. And Shizzy does not have mana again to be able to blink in and finish off this kill. That was a clutch heal or cold embrace coming from the Winter Wyvern there.
Yeah, but I think like she needed to kill the Invoker with that Sonic Wave. So after that, like she's gonna either the Invoker is gonna just cross and heal through the poison coming from the Queen of Pain, and as well as the Winter Wyvern will just heal him anyway. So I think there's a tiny bit out of range, probably like 50 HP or something. And I mean that happens sometimes. You can't really do anything about it. But right now the Naga is uncontested farm, so she's really happy. Yeah.
And
just a little bit.
also going in favor of.
She cannot take this count.
Yeah, she'll need another set of editions. She'll be able to take one
Yeah,
trade.
she can't take this gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs to chill. She needs to take the other camps. Probably not playing in the top lane, top lane jungle just because of the rotation that might come out by Recreational Hazard. But we can see Portal Esports, and we can see Portal Esports getting this tower here. Very important tower, so they can invade the jungle that Sven is farming in. Sven needs to probably go to the top jungle now and farm just so he doesn't get caught to rotations. And this gives more space to the Naga to farm, the triangle as well as the Radiant jungle if he really wants to.
Meanwhile, there is a small rotation towards top lane. They might be going on to the Queen of Pain, but it's not an easy kill at all. I don't think you get this kill without the Sven.
Yeah, and we see the smoke, but the smoke coming from Portal Esports might mean that they do want to take a fight here. Just
they are coming in, but the Queen of Pain
vision advantage is vision advantage is for Recreational Hazard though. So
they are smoked up. They do have the split out onto the Queen of Pain, and now I do not think Portal Esports can take this fight anymore. I mean, they had the co-op with this with the primal split from Brewmaster. It would have been a really good fight for them.
Yeah.
But without the Queen of Pain.
Yeah. And this Leshrac just doing his job, just using double, taking towers, landing his split outs all the time. He has only missed like 1 or 2 at this game, I think. So
1. Yeah. The entire time. Yeah, I think it was 1.
Yeah. But I mean, this has to happen against a Naga lineup anyway. Naga can't really TP in and change a fight right now, so they have to just give up towers here and expect to do better later in the game. But we might see another engagement top lane. The Invoker might get the tornado onto the Brewmaster here.
All his mana got burned, and the Spirit had to follow up as well. This feels like very reminiscent of My Revenge yesterday when they did the same thing, when they went on the top lane, faked back for a moment, and then the guy who comes to defend the lane is dead again.
Yeah. I think they just depended on that one ward they placed too much, and they saw maybe one person go away, but then the rest of them stayed and just killed off the Brewmaster. So I mean, getting picked off, the co-op getting picked off in the top lane had to have given them an idea of like you cannot stay in
the smoke is going to be very sad. They are only going to find the Wyvern here. Immediately gets rewarded, so Wyvern is going to be very happy with this. He broke smoke, sacrificed his life, got a ward as well.
Yeah, getting that ward was pretty clutch.
Yeah.
And now they don't have vision in that bottom jungle as well, so they're not happy with this. But Naga still uninterrupted farm, as well as the Sven though. So Sven has been farming just as much as Naga, but Naga has a little bit more. I think those are because of the stacks, and obviously because she has illusions as well, so she's going to farm a little bit faster than the Sven. But the Sven does have Midas, so it does help him quite a bit, as you can see the net worth.
Yeah, just around 500 gold behind the Naga Siren. And the Sven as well as the Ench both having Midas, they are going to scale pretty well. And of course, the Leshrac just scales very well during the mid game. Meanwhile, they might find the Brewmaster here. The EMP Tornado combination as well as the Cold Snap is going to be the splitter. Comes off. The Leshrac was not there in time, and now the Invoker might pay with his life. Does get the Ghost Walker. There is no vision. Where is the dust? From Portal Esports.
There might be another Scream of Pain from the...
No, this is such a bad mistake to make, especially against a Crossworks Invoker. Like, against the Exotic Invoker, I can give a little bit of leeway because you don't expect like the hero to be able to walk away with Ghost Rock.
Yeah.
But when you're playing Crossworks, you're so fast with Ghost Rock, you need to have a dust.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Maybe they thought, maybe the co-op thought she could get her ult off, but I don't think she had the mana or something. I didn't really see if she did have the mana in that fight, but unfortunately, no detection means no kill for them, sadly, and they get off only with the Leshrac.
Yeah, and that was primal split used on the Brewmaster as well, so they are they're definitely not happy. But on the plus side, they're still buying time for the Naga, because later on in this game, Naga is going to be very strong, especially because Leshrac is not a core.
Yeah, but this Invoker here might be setting up for another good fight, because they know that the Brewmaster has no split. And they've been focusing this Brewmaster for quite a bit for the past few minutes, so Brewmaster needs to play a little bit safer.
The Invoker though. They saw the Ghost Walk footprints.
The footprints. So then they're just heading back. And I think they're trying to take the bot tower on the Sven. They might find the Wyvern here. Cop blinks in, tries to get the Wyvern. Wyvern TPing back to base. Will he be able to make it out?
Yeah, he's okay.
It's gonna be fine. Yeah. So it's gonna be, I think, a little bit of a stalemate now. Nobody's making huge moves. Enchantress, she's gonna be totally fine. She just presses E and she'll be okay. The blast coming in.
Blast, it does hit, and the stun from the Ogre as well. They might be able to get this kill. Yeah, they are going to clean it up with Shiz's Sonic Wave being used to clean up that kill.
Yeah, Enchantress really wanted to bait there. You could tell she was just trying her best to bait for her team to come and turn the fight, but unfortunately, everything, and she didn't even, I don't even think she used Nature's Intendants there.
Yeah, I think she didn't use it because she was not low enough to use it at that point, and then she got hit by the A blast, and then like there's that.
I'm seeing the bot lane, Naga Siren. Snetting the Sven. Sven just cleaning up.
He's rotating in.
Oh, and a kill. The Invoker actually gets a kill. AA goes down immediately to the Sven as well. Sleep is used, but the AA does not survive.
Yeah, so that's 2 kills going in favor of Recreational Hazard. They're doing a really good job of pushing the pace of this game, and they right now seem to be in control. But it's just a 1k natural lead, and at the 60-minute mark, that 1k is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean too much. This Invoker, once he gets his scepter, then they can make a lot more pressure.
Oh, the Tornado catches the Brewmaster. Brewmaster is going to be a dead Brewmaster. He gets split up as well, and
tries to use Primal Split again.
Would have been a bad idea though. I mean, that would have been an utter waste of Primal.
But it doesn't die probably, because they have nothing to really kill. They can't really kill the Brewlings right now, I feel like. Maybe they chase him, but then the support will come, you know. They'll TP and support.
But he was technically in no man's land without...
I mean, the Radiant team don't know that, right? True. That's the thing. So if the Radiant team doesn't know that that's going to happen, then they'll probably not chase him for like into their jungle or whatever.
Corp going for an Orchid early. I don't really like this, to be honest. I feel like if you're planning on buying time for the Naga, you need survivability items like a Yule Scepter, and then you go in for a BKB afterwards, just to be able to deal with the EMP combination from Invoker especially, because without a Yule Scepter, the Corp cannot blink into the fight when there's an Invoker.
So what she might be thinking is, I'm going to go on the Invoker rather than anything else, so getting the Orchid for the Invoker itself, you know. And we can see this Invoker is not going for any Scepter build, he's just going for that Yule Scepter. And I mean, that's how they build it these days, I guess, on the Quasvex Invoker.
Yeah, Axis basically secondary or third item.
Yeah, so I thought they'll want to deal with the Naga quite a bit more, but I guess since they're not running into her much, he's just like, okay, we'll just deal with the rest of them for now. And it's also
I feel like they have enough and more AoE to deal with the Naga.
Especially with the Sven, right?
Sven, you have Sven, you have you have Lezrak, then you have Sprinter Blast.
I see a little bit of a fight here.
Oh, the Queen of Pain is going to be in a little bit of trouble. He does have the blink and he's going to be able to get away scot-free. The Invoker was not there in time. The Cold Snap was there, but it was not enough to hold him in place.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time it's not enough to hold the Quap in place. That's why she wants to go this aggressive build. She wants to always start the fight rather than them start the fight on them, I feel like, because especially with this Brewmaster, it's a lot. I mean, they haven't utilized this Brewmaster ult in this game a lot. I feel like it's because they've been a little bit on the back foot, but honestly they haven't. Like, in terms of net worth, they are very similar, and most of the net worth is on the Naga, but the Queen of Pain is not weak at all.
Yeah, I mean, Queen of Pain is still doing very much better than the Invoker in terms of net worth. And think about the Orchid pickup on the Queen of Pain is Invoker is going for a Yule Scepter, and he cannot by the time he finishes his Orchid, he
he has it right now, so he might be able to do something with this rotation right now.
Yeah, they are smoked into the enemy jungle, and I think Recreational has read this very well.
They got the scan off.
Yeah. Oh, they were inside Roche Pit. Pop immediately moving towards Roche Pit.
I think they were also checking if they were in RS as well. I think both teams don't really want to go into RS right now.
They had to commit way too much to take Roshan, because Sven had to commit GS, then you have the Enchantress taking a lot of damage from Roshan as well. Yeah, he has level 4 untouchable, but you don't want to get caught inside this pit with an A blast.
Yeah, especially with just the song, you know. Yeah. Just the Naga song is enough to set up, you know, the Brewmaster's pit and the Quap ulti, the AA ulti, you know, everything is there. And we can see they're just trying to, you know, slow down the push while Naga farms. They don't need to commit to anything right now.
What do you think the timing for Recreational Hazard is right now? Because
I think
it feels like they're waiting for something. Maybe the Sven BKB.
No, I think Sven blink, or is it going BKB?
He already had the blink.
Okay, then the BKB. As soon as he gets BKB, then I mean, even with the blink right now, they can always burst someone down before the fight starts, and we might see an engagement onto the AA in the jungle here. AA
does get caught. The Invoker with that Cyclone is going to be able to keep him in place. And
the Orchid onto the Enchantress. So she didn't get her impetus off, but AA does fall.
That Tornado does so much of damage, and especially with the the Split Wrestle on the Invoker, there's no way that the A gets away. That's the other thing for Recreational Hazard, right? Because they don't have this big ultimate cooldown. Yeah, they have the the Y1 ultimate and the Sven GS, but other than that, they can keep fighting. They're not cooldown dependent, whereas Portal is heavily cooldown dependent. You have Naga Sleep, you have Sonic Wave, you have Bruce Spray. These are all very high cooldown spells.
Yeah, I think that's why they're just not committing to anything. Oh, Pop jumping in.
Oh, Pop jumps in onto the... Oh, lovely Winter Curse from the Winter Wyvern, holding the Queen of Pain in place, and the EMP burns away all the mana. Now the Pop does not have enough mana for the Sonic Wave. The End still surviving. In the meantime, the Bruce Split is going to be used, and the Invoker just walks away scot-free on that Ghost Walk. They will only get the Winter Wyvern kill, and the End just still surviving. Sven has popped the GS. He's waiting to try and get a pick off. He is putting the after the time being. They are trying to go on to the Sven here. No, actually the Ench, and they will turn this around onto the Brewmaster. And meanwhile, while all that was happening, top lane gets taken out. They took the tier 3 tower top lane.
Tornado.
And the Tornado misses completely onto the Naga side, and they want to try and catch him. He does not have the sleep. Who was taking top
Leshrac.
Oh.
So Leshrac took the top T3 while the fight was going on, and then the AA TP'd, got the cold feet off, but wasn't in time to save the... I mean, he was dead, right? So he just respawned and tried to deal with the Leshrac there, but he did get the T3 tower, so they are able to take the shrines here, and it's going to be very Radiant favored right now.
That is for sure, and the Ench just surviving here. That Winter's Curse saved the life of that Ench.
Yeah.
Because then the EMP went off from the Invoker, and the Queen of Pain lost all his mana, and he could not get off that Sonic Wave during that entire fight.
Again, the no vision thing for the Invoker. They got the song off and stopped the Invoker.
Because the supports are completely focused on the Enchantress on the other side.
Enchantress making so much space, and then AA.
Yeah, the AA gets taken out again. This AA is very sad, but again, that hero doesn't really need to do anything other than get off his Ice Blast during the fight. But Sven seems to be just snowballing at this point. 13k net worth would probably have picked up the BKB by now after that fight. You have the Invoker who is still farming, and so much of control that Recreational has had. Like we said, like no high cooldown ultimates. They are able to fight continuously, and meanwhile Naga trying to go after the Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern is going to use his curse.
They're gonna get her.
Yeah. No TP? Yeah, I don't think. Oh, she does have. Okay, they're not going to be able to. Oh, Sonic Wave. Okay.
If they
that had to be committed, I think, to get that kill.
Yeah, the song was on cooldown for one more second. I thought they might be able to get the song off there, but they didn't need it in the end.
Yeah, and I feel like they want to hold on to the song as much as possible, because Recreational Hazard is pushing the pace of this game, and to hold them off is the only...
they might want to take a fight right now. They have their ultimates up. They don't have Sonic Wave, but they don't really need it all the time. They have the Naga damage down. She has the Manta Diffusal. They want to try and get the kill. You know, Naga's hit a power spike right now, and she wants to, do something with it, I feel like. But it's going to be hard to pick off. Maybe they can smoke and pick someone off, something like that.
Yeah, again, if they need to be carrying vision, because if not, they are just getting the Leshrac at any point, because they can't gank the Sven anymore. Sven has BKB, and they are going to be able to turn the fight. And because, especially due to the fact that Recreational has so much of their towers left, they have only lost one tier 1 tower, and the TP potential from the team is always going to be there to help you out if you do get caught out. So Sven is like a really bad target. Invoker is probably the best target that they can gank right now.
Or Leshrac,
Yeah, Leshrac. But Leshrac is a support, so if you are smoking, you want one of the cores, and getting the Invoker, I feel like they can still kill the Invoker, because he has use,
they can
but they have enough control to kill
and Shizzy has her BKB now, if he really wants to get it.
Oh yeah, she's very farmed actually. Yeah. Almost 3k net worth ahead of the Invoker, mainly due to the pickoffs that he has been getting on the
exactly.
supports.
She's been having this kill momentum, so she's okay with this. And we see a sentry being dropped. It might catch out the Observer Ward on the high ground there, but I don't think they're going to check it out, so they're going to miss it.
But this is a really good timing for Recreational Hazard. They have taken both shrines. They are looking to take, I think they'll look for a fight now. Maybe when the Sven is ready, Sven seems to be farming, might need time for just like one more item.
I think they're waiting for
the Aghanims on Invoker.
So Invoker didn't go for the Yules, I guess. He did go, he just went for the Aghanims after that. And Naga almost picking up the Heart. Heart is not, I mean, it's good. Yeah. Obviously, for
against this lineup, it feels like it's
a bit hard to do anything, but she still needs it. I think she needs Butterfly a little bit more though. I mean, there's a lot of AoE damage now, especially with the Leshrac being pretty decently farmed. I mean, he has the same farm as the Brewmaster.
Yeah, so that's a farm Leshrac for sure.
Yeah, so then Naga Heart is needed against, this Tornado, EMP, Leshrac, Pulse Nova, Winter Wyvern, second skill, but he also needs the Butterfly for this Sven. and I'm not too sure he's going to get it in time.
So this is go time for Recreational Hazard. They are going to go into the Roche pit, and it feels like Portland Esports do not know about this, or they don't want to contest.
They don't want to contest this, probably. But if they had this set up, maybe if the Naga was close enough to set up with a song and everyone was just there, then maybe they would have wanted to. But unfortunately, they weren't, and they didn't really. I think when they figured it out, they were like, it's too late.
Yeah. And they are looking to take a fight. They do lose that tier 2 tower bottom. Oh, the glyph is going to be used. Sven TPing back.
No, the Naga illusion.
Oh, the Sven stun to keep the Naga illusions at bay.
Get the deny.
And he gets the deny off as well. So little things. I don't think it was really worth just dropping down there to deny the
I mean,
tower.
it didn't have Aegis. I mean, sorry, GS.
GS, yeah.
So it was okay.
Oh no, the Naga Siren gets taken down there. The Invoker with the Lezra keeping everyone in control, and the Sven popped the BKB.
The tips. Oh, maybe just in case she songed, I think. And I think she did song, right? I think she was songed.
Yeah. She was songed. That's why they couldn't.
That's why Sven BKB then jumped in.
Yeah. Then it's totally worth to get that, because now the hard time is going to be even more delayed, and Sven still has his GS in 30 seconds, and he will have it with the BKB, which is on a 40-second cooldown. So
yeah, she cannot die there, to be completely honest. She should be trying to farm the map, trying to cut lanes, especially now that she cannot cut lanes, they can easily come high ground.
So the A blast onto 3 heroes, let's like immediately use. Not sure what the use was all about.
He just doesn't want to take 2 ticks of damage. But Quap pushing the top lane, immediate TPs by Invoker and the Wyvern. Might not be able to catch the Quap, but Quap is just defending the towers. Yeah.
And now they are TP over, and just going to be in trouble. The split is not going to be used. The Brewmaster with that blink forward into the Thunderclap, and they are trying to look for him, get stunned up, and the Ogre is there with the multicasted stun as well. The Fire Blast is going to be, but the Ench is so tanky.
They really need to be careful not to use too many stuns, or she'll just TP her. But we have the Cold Feet now.
Yeah, Cold Feet is there as well as the net, and they will clean up the Ench. That is a really good pick-off.
Yeah.
They realize that the Invoker and the Wyvern TP top, they immediately go on the hero. And I think Ench should have backed off immediately when those TPs went top.
Yeah. I mean, that really needed to happen, because now it delays their high ground push, especially with the Aegis that they've just picked up on the Sven. And Sven of Pain blinking in, getting the
Lezrek. He gets the use off onto the Quap, and he's going to be able to walk away.
Pretty sure he could have Sonic with that.
Maybe didn't want to use it because they are still.
I mean, Ench is still dead for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, they're still fearing. What's the cooldown on the Sonic? It's like 100 seconds?
It's less than that, right? It's 90 or something.
90. I feel like they're afraid of getting pressured, because as soon as this end spawn, they still have Aegis on the Sven, and Sven now has his GS and BKB both up. And I feel like Recreational Hazard is looking to push the pace of the game. They need to really be able to do that. And on top of that, though, like even though the Naga did die bottom, that Naga push bottom as well as the Queen of Pain split pushing top lane gave them enough time to keep Recreational Hazard at bay.
Yeah, I think if this Ench didn't die, then it would have been okay. But sadly, it just delays this Aegis timing. They still have it for like 2 to 3 minutes, I think. So they have this small window as soon as Ench comes up to use the Aegis for the high ground push, and I think that really needs to happen.
And of course, this top lane kill onto the Sven.
Just the early game.
Early game.
Yeah, just showing how the lane dominance was won by the Sven. Sven really needed this start, because if he was kind of contested in the lane, he wouldn't have got a good Midas timing, and then all of his timings would have been a little bit late. And you can see how important it is that Sven gets his BKB timing, his blink timing. Everything was pretty important in this game. So making sure they secured this lane for the Sven was a big deal for Recreational Hazard here.
Yeah, and the rotations from Shizzy. Shizzy was able to keep up in farm, even though he was rotating a lot, because he was getting support kills most of the time, but it's kills nevertheless. That is net worth towards him. And he was killing supports who were farmed, because especially the Lezrak, he was pretty well farmed.
You can see
this fight was really good though.
Yeah, this was really good by Recreational Hazard.
Yeah.
Because I think it was more of a misplay coming from Portal Esports, because you can see the song was misused there. He tried to use the song to stop the Invoker from using Ghost Walk, but then it was too late. And he used the net on the Wyvern to stop the TP, so they couldn't catch the Invoker. They only caught the Wyvern. Meanwhile, the rest of his team was dealing with the Enchantress, who wasn't dying whatsoever, because the AAL wasn't used on her, and she got her heal off. So the fight was just split, and I think it was all Enchantress just baiting out so many spells and surviving.
And looks like the Queen of Pain is going for the Shiva's Guard, which is a really good item against the Sven. Just negate some of the damage that is going to be coming out from the Sven.
If she ever gets caught, she can always... And obviously the attack speed slow is just really good. can slow people from running away, can slow the attack speed from Sven and the Invoker as well.
Since the aura for the team.
Yeah.
It's a very good item pickup for the Queen of Pain for sure. And this guy is really fun. Daedalus picked up now on the Sven as well as the Heart on the Naga Siren. I think Portal is getting towards that point where they are happy with how things are going, because...
I mean, until they get the Butterfly, they're not happy. Because they can still do a lot against the Naga without the...
But as they said though, Recreational Hazard is putting pressure on the top lane.
So then they're trying to use this Aegis as much as they can. So it's going to probably pop while they're pushing high ground here. Sven just going in with the Alacrity.
Alacrity and jumps in and cleans out that range back. They will go back in again for that melee. I can probably wait for... oh no, he is actually going in right now. I thought they might wait for the...
but Sven is losing his mana by
the silence up as well, and Alacrity is there. A lot of damage been done. He loses almost all his mana, and he might actually get killed here without anything being done. And yes, he will get taken out. There is the Aegis popped on the Sven, but the Rax very low. Ench going to work on the Rax for the time being, and meanwhile the GS gets popped as well as the BKB, and they will clean up the tower. And Shizzy does want to chase, but decides against it because we are still running into.
They do get the Leshrac trying to split push.
And he did quite a bit of damage to the mid tier 3 tower.
I mean, this is okay, but now it gives more time for this Naga to get her Butterfly, right? And when she hits the Butterfly timing, the Sven doesn't have MKB. It was not even that close to MKB. I don't even know if he's going MKB. But if he doesn't get this MKB when Naga gets the Butterfly, it's a big deal, because then the Naga can actually deal with the Sven quite a bit. And since she does have Heart as well, the Leshrac and the Invoker can't just deal with these Naga illusions anymore, because they survive everything.
Yeah, I feel like the Sven just giving away that Aegis there. Not that he gave it away. I think his team should have definitely jumped in when they were like just completely destroying the Sven who was just hitting racks there. Because the thing is, if the Sven doesn't die there and he holds on to his Aegis, there's another set of racks. And the fact that Portal Esports is strong, but they're not strong enough to deal with all these heroes on the side of Recreational Hazard. You have Winter's Curse to come out. You have all of basically the entire arsenal of Invoker, because he does have his Aghanim's picked up, and there's so much of AoE, and they don't really have a lot of BKBs, because Naga doesn't have a big. It's just the Queen of Pain with BKB, and there is Invoker can basically control everyone else other than the Queen of Pain during that fight. They could easily defended it. Meanwhile, EMP is going to be used on the Queen of Pain with that cold snap, and he will lose
so much mana. Wow.
Basically everything just gone.
Yeah.
Plus one hero, the Queen of Pain would have died for sure. Shizzy needs to be careful when he blinks forward aggressively.
He really does, but he's going to be fine. He's going to just TP back to base and heal up. And right now, this Naga Siren, very close to her Butterfly, just a few thousand gold off. And Sven, I think he does have the highest net worth in the game, but right after that is the Quap and the Naga. So even though the Sven is like the super carry here on Recreational Hazard, it's not good enough. I feel like if they want to end it, they should end it around in the next 5 to 10 minutes. For like not even just next 5 minutes, you know.
Thing is, if this game goes really late, I think like Recreational Hazard still has the game in the bag, just because of the Leshrac, the amount of farm that the Leshrac.
But the way he's been playing, he hasn't been farming. Oh, and the Blinken.
The Blinken from the Queen of Pain. The split, the Primal Split is going to be used from the Brewmaster as well. They are chasing after the Enchanter, but a lot of Winter's Curse is going to be used by the Winter Survivor to keep the Ench alive for the time being. But he will take down to Shizzy as well as that AA Blast from the Ancient Apparition. And of course, they don't want to take this fight. Meanwhile, Jules is going to be used, or the Cyclone is going to be used on the Winter Wyvern to keep him in place. But can they get this tier 1 tower out of this?
Yeah, they can easily get this tower. They're hardly happy with that. I mean, now this, as you can see in that fight especially, right? They can always burst down this Ench because of this Queen of Pain, especially with the Orchid as well. And they want this Ench to be the tanky frontliner. If they do try to, you know, counter-initiate in a fight, they want her to tank a lot of spells and, you know, counter-initiate. But that Wyvern Curse was only on the Brewlings, and it only affects 2 Brewlings because the Earth Panda is BKB. So it was not the best Winter's Curse, and because of that, everyone's decided to retreat and just leave the Enchantress.
I feel like he was pressured to use the curse just to try and save the Ench, but
he
missed completely. And Portal had really good position there because the Queen of Pain was on the other side, and it was just the Brewmaster completely on top of the Enchantress there. Meanwhile, Eagle's Song picked up on the Naga side and getting very close, around 900 gold, but they will.
Glimmer and Song.
Song going to be used as well to save this Ogre.
Yeah, GS was used as well.
Yeah, Invoker though, coming in, he is going to be able to get the... I thought he might actually commit a couple of kills there.
Same, but he just decided not to. I mean, that was a good go because they know they don't have Bruce Split and Sonic Wave.
Yeah.
So that they could have got something there, but they did use GS for that, and unfortunately they did not get the kill. It is an ogre. It's very strong, very hard to kill an ogre very quickly. So, and Invoker doesn't have any vessel charges. That's a big deal.
That is definitely a very big deal. But right now they are looking to clean out this bottom. Oh, that's right. Needs to be careful. He's so important to stay alive in this team fight. Oh, lovely tornado from the Invoker as well as the EMP, the Queen of Pain. Missed the EMP. Meanwhile, A Blast flies out.
Oh, good A Blast.
Oh, misses everyone completely. Ench is still going to be hit by it, not completely, but he will get taken out. And Sven does not have GS to take this fight. He does have BKB, but he does not want to jump in without GS, and they are trying to back off. But meanwhile, the Wyvern is going to be able to glimmer himself and TP back to safety. And I think once the Ench is back, they need to take a fight because now the split is actually no, the split is there. They didn't use much.
Yeah, they really needed Ench to get BKB this game instead of Hurricane Pike. I feel like the Hurricane Pike is just too much investment, and it's not helping him survive these fights. I think
it's one of the least built items in TI as well. I didn't see a lot of Hurricane Pike. It feels like Enchanters normally go for Dragon Lance and then completely directly goes in for the BKB.
Yeah, the BKB is just so important in these fights, especially in this sort of meta where everyone wants to fight a lot. BKB is just really good, especially even against Naga Siren. Let's say she's trying to TP out, and you have like a few more hits. If you just BKB and Impetus her twice, she's just dead. So those BKBs are very important, especially when you're playing against AA. Because you don't want to die to the just the ticks, right?
Yeah, and that's the only hero that completely counters him as well. Like,
I mean, they do have a lot of, they have the Orchid now that she knows about. They have the Ogre, they have the Panda. So they do have a lot of Magic Burst. So she should know this, and she should probably go that BKB. Maybe she thought the Sonic Wave it just goes through BKB, so why should I get it? But I think it's just a little bit more than that. She just needs to get the BKB to secure. She needs to value her life a little bit more in these fights.
So now AC picked up on the Sven. Sven, I think, picked up this AC before he saw the Eagle Song on the Naga Siren.
On the top, they're not going to do anything. They're too far for this. Yeah. But Naga is split pushing pretty nicely now. He's pushing the mid lane, pushing the bot lane. Enchantress is going to probably deal with this bot lane a little bit. And she has picked up the butterfly. So now it's going to be a lot easier for the Naga to actually take fights and be happy to take fights. When you're Naga, you want to be comfortable when you're going into a fight. And now you're very comfortable since you got the butterfly. Because you don't have to really worry about this Sven just killing your illusions in 2 hits with the Daedalus. Yeah, I mean, still could happen. There's a chance, but you're a little bit happier,
Yeah, and the Naga is actually building into a Bloodthorn as well right now. Lincoln's is the item choice for the Queen of Pain, which is a decent choice. You're stopping the Sven stun, you're stopping the Invoker Cold Snap.
Winter's Curse.
It's a really good pickup for him.
I mean, he
was already unkillable at this point, and now he just cannot die.
I think the best part is the only thing that can, you usually have something that can just pop the Lincoln so you can go on him. It's only Cold Snap and
Lightning Strike.
Maybe Enchant, Maybe those spells, but other than that, it's not easy to pop this Lincoln Sphere, which I think is what makes the item a lot better in this game. Obviously, the Cold Snap is very easy to pop the Lincoln Sphere with, but you really want to kill with that spell.
What do you think about the Queen of Pain picking up the AoE Shadow Strike? What is the other skill tree? I think it's cooldown reduction?
It's the Fear. And the Lifesteal. So Lifesteal is not that good, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was
really good if you go for it with Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, if you're doing the spell like the Veil, Aghanims, that sort of build is pretty good. But now she has the Shiva's Guard. She wants to be in the fight, right? And I don't think the spell lifesteal will be as good as the Shadow Strike, just because you can kite a lot of heroes in this game as well. The Enchantress, the Sven, the Invoker. You want to kite these heroes. So if you get a good song into AoE Shadow Strike, that always helps.
And I feel like now it's all Portal Esports game from now onwards, because Ogre is really fat as well, because he has picked up a Midas, he has Pipe, he has Crimson Guard, and he's just going to be getting fatter and fatter as the game goes on.
You can't kill him.
Greed is just really paying off. Sitting at almost 30,000 HP, he's very tanky. I mean, we saw the Sven with GS going on him and barely did anything.
Barely killed him, took him to half HP and then they just backed off. But Queen of Pain, using the Shadow Strike to just push out lanes as fast as possible, that helps a lot too, especially against the Sven. So it looks good for the side of Portal Esports right now. Naga's really fat. As soon as she gets Guardy, she's probably unkillable. Because even the Sven can't really just go on her unless they can kill the rest of his team. But the Brewmaster gets caught.
Brewmaster gets caught. The Sven is going to be there with the cold snap as well. There is no vision. The supports are not even nearby. Both teams a bit
but then I think
stingy on the vision there.
Other than stingy, I didn't think they expected the AA to be there to glimmer him more than anything. And
Sven gets caught out.
But he's going to be okay. I think they don't want to give Roshan anymore now. That they know that.
Queen of Pen pops the BKB. They are trying to go after the Invoker, but Invoker is pretty much unkillable.
Yeah.
And so is the AA. He's also pretty tanky right now.
Yeah, I think since they're two heroes, especially since they're two heroes, Queen of Pain can't really just go in and do whatever she wants.
I think what happened there was
she got caught.
She got caught. It was not the GS popped on top lane. They are trying to go onto the Ogre. Ogre gets stunned up as well, but he's so tanky. Crimson got caught by the crit. The impetus going to work, and he will get taken down. The damage coming out from that Enchantress. I think a second, if he had 100 HP more, would have been again.
No, I think the Enchantress being there definitely helped. Yeah. They really needed the Enchantress to be there. But that was a GS popped, and they're going to go straight into the rush pit. AA Blast immediately hitting the Sven here. But will that be enough to stop them from going in? I think it is.
Yeah, they are going to back off because Spinner Pen does have his ultimate. The Ogre buys back as well. I think they're going to be happy with that Ogre buyback.
Yeah, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
They're not super happy because they really wanted Roshan, but yeah, because this Roshan on Sven could be the factor that decides whether he can kill all the supports and then leave Naga for last.
Yeah,
because DD
is going to get picked up by the Queen of Pain, and now might be go time for them because I feel like Portal can take a fight.
Yeah, they can take a fight.
They smoke as well. They throw the A blast to scout out
check
Roshan,
but
nobody is.
I think they expected them to be in Roshan. That's just why they did it. But they are going to look for more kills now. They probably might be able to catch the Enchantress here with the Brewmaster.
Yeah, needs to be careful though. They are rotating around the side. Enchantress will run into trouble here. The Ogre comes in. The stun is going to be there, but no, the 4-star out. He's going to be okay. And Invoker comes in with the Cyclone. The EMP as well, but no, it does not. He does not let the EMP go. And now the song is going to be used. A lovely song there. This is a really good angle for the Queen of Pain ultimate, but is he going to use it? Are they going to take this fight? And yes, he does. The ult is a little bit too late. Hits on two heroes, does really nothing. And meanwhile, the BKB pops on Ledrak. Ledrak is so fat. He wants to go after the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain pops the BKB. Sven needs to be able to pop his BKB as well. He does pop it. He does not have the GS. And a bit of D-wards going. And fight basically not going in anyone's favor right now. Meanwhile, the A getting chased down. Invoker needs to be careful. Pops his own BKB as well. The Cyclone onto the Queen of Pain here. Queen of Pain still looking to chase. Meanwhile, on the backline, they do clear out the Brewmaster as well as the Ogre. And they are looking for more. GS now popped on the Sven, looking for heroes. They will spot out the A. A does get scouted out. There is the Ice Wall, and they will be able.
That's a good Ice Wall.
Yeah, that's perfect placement, and he will get cleaned up. And Naga, realizing the situation is really bad, immediately deciding to cut waves and split push the entire map. And they are trying to go on this tier 3 tower. They do have the creep of top lane, so they will be able to get the damage done. Enough and taking so much of damage. He blinked in, but the Sven controlled up. EA Blast flies out as well. The Sven is going to go down. He is just dead. And meanwhile, they will lose the Ledrak as well. The Cyclone from the Invoker, keeping the Brewmaster at bay for the time being. And the Enchantress BKB has gone out as well, and he's going to get netted up and killed here. Gets forced out forward. Will he be able to TP out? He does not have the mana. Naga Illusion taking away all that mana. He will get taken out. Monster kill on Shazy. And Portal Esports hold that high ground.
Yeah, with 2 buybacks. That was what cost them most of it. Like the two buybacks coming from Panda and the AA. So now what they want to do is either take Roshan.
They just go Roshan.
Yeah, they're going Roshan, they take it and they try to force the buyback with it. I think they can take it fast enough so that they can force the Sven and the Enchantress buyback.
Yeah, Naga is so fat.
Naga's pretty strong.
So much of damage onto Roshan. The Orchid as well from the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, Sunstrike scouting things out. Do they want to contest the Wyvern coming in? He does have the curse ready. He's going to be using, if he can get it off on the Queen of Pain. Oh no, he uses on the Naga, that's not the target, and he's not going to be able to steal the Aegis as well. A Blast flies down, and that Winter Wyvern just dies for nothing.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it is really hard to click Queen of Pain there with all the Naga illusion, but
he tried. He almost did it. I think that was not a bad play to make because he was so close and he almost did it. But
if Shizzy dies, the 100 is super worth.
Yeah, but not Shizzy dying. Rather than Shizzy dying, just stealing the Aegis more than anything.
But though, even if he had used on the Queen of Pain, he wouldn't have got it off because of the Lincoln.
So either way, it's like she just wanted the Aegis more than anything. She didn't really want to kill there. I mean, she can always Splinter Blast and remove the Lincoln. But
sounds like too much work to do when you're trying to steal ages.
exactly. So you don't really care about anything other than stealing the ages instead of getting killed there. So then they do get the tower here, so they are going to be able to...
Oh, the coast up is going to be the Jules as well.
Yeah,
Can he get the sprinter blast off?
Yeah,
he's going to be able to BKB and TP out. Sven looking to chase, but
yeah, they're fine. Now they can send the Naga illusions to maybe kill off the shrine, the shrines on either side of the map, but I don't think they can easily do that.
This game is dragging on, and as the game drags on...
Oh, the Wyvern actually did get the cheese though.
Oh, it's cheese stolen.
Cheese stolen. So that is a big deal, to be completely honest, against this Sven. But they do have the A blast, so it's not, you know, super good. But A blast hasn't...
At least gives you a second life.
You know,
kinda.
Yeah, and we see the replay here onto when they overextended a little bit on the Sven here. Killing the Leshrac off, killing the Sven off, not really hard. And the Enchantress stays to fight with the BKB. She could have probably just TP'd out with the BKB there, but not too sure if it was on cooldown or not, but she does go down in there.
I feel like they can't just they got a couple of kills and the ultimate's on the side of Portal is down, but they can't just walk up high ground.
Yeah, because they should expect buybacks coming, right?
Buybacks plus the Naga is still very strong. If they had got the Naga kill, then yes, 100% you just walk high ground.
The Wyvern going in here with the Glimmer Cape, just trying his best. He did get the cheese, but unfortunately...
Maybe would have been able to get out?
No. He popped his Arctic Burn quite far away because he wanted to be glimmered for a long, so that it doesn't get caught by a ward maybe.
Yeah.
So then he couldn't have got away there.
Meanwhile, A still doing
and the MKB picked up by the Sven with the Assault Cuirass. So then now the Naga is like, okay, it's not easy to take fights, but I can kill everyone else. So if you can lock down Sven, I can win the fight. Is basically what he's trying to say to his team right now.
Naga is the beast that he is. I mean, you expect the Naga to be the beast at this point. 44 minutes into the game, 31,000 net worth, basically full items other than I think Bloodthorn he's trying to complete. Sven following close behind with 25,000. Queen of Pain also very happy. Invoker has fallen off. This is the thing with Prospects Invokers. If you don't keep on killing from the get-go, that hero kind of you don't farm
tapers off. And I think what this Portal Esports team need to do is maybe get a halberd and deal with the Sven a little bit. Get the halberd or get the Hex on the Queen of Pain, which she is trying to go for now, which is very nice. Even the Naga, I've seen quite a few Nagas get Hex just to deal with these heroes. Like, you don't expect Naga to Hex here, so you just walk in with the Naga, Hex someone, and then you kite him. While you kite the Sven, you kill everyone else. That could be a way, but he did pick up the Bloodthorn. I think he's going for Bloodthorn. I'm not sure.
He was building the Bloodthorn the last time I checked. And oh no, he actually decided to go for the Skadi first.
Yeah, Skadi. She was NK and we got the Skadi. So now she has another 7k gold for the Bloodthorn.
So fat.
Yeah, she's pretty fat. She's pretty strong.
She's like the slow version of Alchemist.
Yeah.
Once you get your items, then you farm actually faster than the Alchemist.
No, not faster than Alchemist.
Cravings really,
True. Not faster than Alchemist, but she does farm faster than most other heroes because the Sven is keeping up because of the Midas as well. So any Midas hero can usually farm as fast. Even a Wraith King with the skeletons can farm pretty fast. Just the Naga having those illusions to pressure lanes to survive for a long time. They're like alive for a long period of time, which is why she has that added advantage of farming fast as well as pushing lanes as well as cutting waves. Rather than you can't tell the skeletons what to do when you're playing Wraith King, and the Sven can't really cut lanes. You have to go as a team most of the time. And we might see preparation for a fight mid. You can see the Queen of Pain.
Major right meanwhile, dude. And this Ogre is so fat. He has picked up a gem as well. He has a 4-star. He has Midas. He's actually more farmed than the Brewmaster who was their offlaner right now.
I mean,
like, the thing about Ogre is, right, like you tend to go for that Midas when you're playing Sakura or whether you're playing Core. It feels like he's not viable during the early game just because he goes for that Midas. But on the top side, even if he goes for the Midas, he's so tanky, it's not like an easy kill that you can just keep on picking off.
You can just pick him off,
just because he went for the Midas. And he offers so much, especially with this utility build that all these ogres are going for. Even if you're playing it offline, you get all the utility items possible. So you're like the walking aura for your team, and you don't die also. So it feels like you're in a lose-lose situation with Yoga on the other side.
But usually you want the Panda to be the one carrying most of the auras in this team. But unfortunately, he's not been able to farm / get killed. So he is kind of, starved in that regard. But I think a halberd really needs to be picked up by Portal Esports. They really need that item. I don't know if he's going for an AC on Brewmaster, which they need to, because Sven has an AC. You want to cancel off that aura with the AC aura as well.
Yeah.
But the halberd sounds just really good against the Sven right now.
I think they're not worried about the Sven right now because they've been dealing with the Sven during these fights pretty well.
I mean, they had buyback to deal with him though.
True. I feel like that fight was a bit split up, and the Queen of Pain was a bit slow on the Sonic Wave, and I feel like he expected that Sonic Wave to do much more damage. It hit
it's
two
not
heroes.
going to do that much damage.
It hit two heroes. They are even like
Shizi would know, right? He's probably played the hero more than enough to know how much damage the hero does, but it's not enough. They don't have enough like AoE stuns to set up with the Naga Sleep. All they have is like the AoE Shadow Strike with the Queen of Pain ult. Maybe the Brewmaster gets a proper Cyclone onto someone with an AA Blast, but I mean, they don't have that lockdown. The heroes can just scatter after the Naga ult to just run away from everything.
For a fight top lane, Shizi actually
is going to find the fear is there.
He's trying to TP out. Is he going to be able to get it off?
Yeah.
Whoa! It's clutch TP out. Bit of a debot going from the Ogre as well with the gem.
I'm not too sure if he waited for the fear to TP out, but that was really good. Because otherwise Queen of Pain will just scream and cancel the TP with the fear. But yeah, that was a good play coming from the Wyvern. Saves a lot of gold for himself, because now he doesn't need to buy back if they do push. But they are pushing, since they have pushed most of the lanes here on the Dire team, and they are going to get the shrine here.
Yeah,
Queen of Pain.
10,000 gold.
Look at her attack speed, it's crazy.
Now that's 10,000 gold. What is he going for?
The Bloodstone with buyback.
He bought something else now. What did he buy?
Moonshard?
Yeah. Oh, meanwhile, Enchantress is going to get taken out. 90 seconds on the ground without buyback, and if
that's a big deal.
Yeah, Portal is like, we are going to push, we are just going to force buyback, and then
look at the Naga illusion split now. It's really good that he's
but meanwhile Lezrak is doing his own split push in the mid lane. We'll probably try and force at least one person back, and if Invoker can stop it in the meantime when they are trying to TP back, this will be really cool. And he will manage to get lovely glyph there from the team. Now the TPs are going out. Can the Invoker stop anyone here? They might actually stop the Ogre, at least some sort of a kill. But he has gem, he needs to be careful. But meanwhile Naga has cleaned out their mid racks. They're still fighting though. Only the AA TP back actually.
They don't have any creeps because of the Leshrac.
Yeah.
They can't really take the melee racks now. Yeah, good play from the Leshrac, to be completely honest. They just stopped the push completely.
Yeah,
they did get a raid. And what? Naga gets a kill with the illusions in the base.
No.
Against the Sven.
Sven? That was such a bad misplay, because now he will have to buy back for this. EMP is going to be used.
Naga can get, she has illusions again, so she's not really going to be affected. But Leshrac again killing the creep wave off. Oh no.
This guy doing work.
And he's gonna cut the top creep wave as well. Oh
saving grace for
saving private Riot.
Actually. But Shizi is on the hand, the Queen of Pain.
Now they're like, this Leshrac needs to die.
100% needs to die. He will get caught out here, but he does have BKB. He actually has a blink as well. He's going to be able to blink out and TP out. This guy.
Yeah, MVP of this game.
MVP, Leshrac for Recreational.
But right now, his shenanigans have stopped. And Enchantress is back, but the creeps are in the base now.
And Sven is still down for 45 seconds. They really don't want to use this buyback.
But as you can see, they're using so many spells on these illusions, and they're just not dying after this Heart and Skadi. Like, even the Enchantress is hitting it, it's like...
Oh, he blast hits on 2 heroes. Where's the Queen of Pain? Oh, Queen of Pain is great.
They're going to take the Smeller Axe. They have the glyph. They really don't want to use the Sven buyback here.
Yeah,
I mean,
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Can they hold?
Naga might be able to dodge this.
Oh,
the fear.
BKB as well as the fear. The Invoker gets control. The heal is going to be there. The Sonic Wave as well, but he's just not dying. He will have the BKB. He will have... He's going to be forced to pop it, and they are going to be able to take a melee.
Tornado.
Lezrak dies in the backline. The Tornado catches out almost everyone. Only the Brewmaster does not get caught. But where is the Sven? Still dead for 4 seconds, and they will force the buyback on the Lezrak. Lezrak tried to control the backline while the Invoker was getting gone on, and he got just cleaned up, absolutely cleaned up.
I do not know how that Sven dying there was such a big deal. How did he die? I really don't know how he died there.
Really need to check the replay on that.
Yeah, but this Sven, he's the only one that can really deal with this Naga illusion, so him dying is a big deal. The Naga can always take towers, to slowly siege whenever he wants. And they only had the Leshrac to cut creeps, and he's doing a good job to cut creeps, but I'm not sure if it's going to work all the time for him.
So 50 minutes into the game, this game has, I mean, the kills don't say it, but I feel like there's been a lot of action.
Oh, look at the misses. So, I mean, he missed.
Still lost almost half his mana pool.
Yeah, he missed like twice. Like the MKB doesn't give you guaranteed.
Yeah, not like those days.
Not like those days. It gives you accuracy. So.
Meanwhile, Ogre might be in a little trouble.
GS was used for that.
Oh, the tornado actually catches the Ogre. Ogre might be in a lot of trouble here. He will get stunned up. The cold snap is going to be clear. But now the nullify, they sleep as well. The Ogre survives. They want to turn this around. Sleep is going to go off. And now the Winter's Curse is on actually no one. The BKB pop from the Blue Master going after the Enchantress. Enchantress needs to be careful. He's going to pop his here. The ALT is going to follow the Invoker as well as the Enchantress. The cold snap will control the Blue Master. He will not get it off. And now the Enchantress is in a little bit of trouble.
The
Leshrac is taking base. And the Cyclone catches out the... Wait, he did catch out the Queen of Pain.
No,
it stopped the TP. It stopped the TP because he was keeping out and
but
then
she blinked out.
Yeah.
But she's gonna be okay. And that they might get the
Enchantress. They are trying to chase him, but meanwhile the net is going to be there. He force-stops himself over. The A will die, but there is no vision. The Sven does not want to blink in, and the Enchantress meanwhile will get taken out by the Naga Siren as well as the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain trying to find the Invoker, but without stop the Sven TP out, and he will get taken down.
Buying back for that as well.
Oh no!
Leshrac in trouble here. He might get caught.
Yeah, he's going to get nullified up and he's going to go down as well. Godlike shit, dead without buyback. This is go time for Portal Esports.
Look how annoyed they are with the Leshrac. The 4 tips for the Leshrac. He tried to cut the wave again.
Portal is like, this game's getting over and we have to deal with the Leshrac split pushing.
This Leshrac has been so annoying this entire game. This Invoker might be able to catch out this Ogre. Ogre's a bit low.
Ogre is low and the top lane is actually pushing in. And the mid lane will get controlled. Meanwhile, the Naga is on the bottom lane.
They don't care about the top lane right now.
They just tier 4s are getting hit. They lose one tier 4. Sven does that buyback, but without the Lesh buyback, I feel like they really cannot take this fight.
No, I think they'll just force 2 buybacks and get out, most probably.
Wyvern really needs a really good curse in this fight. Like, if he does not get
that's a good curse.
Good curse onto the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain getting low. The Cataclysm! Not enough. The Hex is going to be there and will clean up the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain does a buyback. And now they want to try and control this Naga. The BKB is popped on the Invoker. Invoker using the Cyclone, controlling the Naga of the time. The Ice Wall is there. They cannot really leave the base. Enchanter is going to work on to the Naga Siren. Naga Siren using that silence as well as the diffusal onto the Invoker. Invoker gets limit and healed up. Naga Siren is going to be able to get that sleep off and he will be able to TP out. And meanwhile, they lose that tier 4.
Wait, will she be able to TP out? She did, right?
Yeah, okay. She got out.
I didn't know she had TP.
Yeah. And completes a bloodbath, but meanwhile, Portal Esports lost that tier 4 tower. This is turning out to be one hell of a game. It is 19k in favor of Portal Esports, but that is nothing. Structures are everything, and still structures advantage.
Since so much action was happening in that bottom fight near the T2 tower, when they got the song, when they were trying to go on Ogre, and then Naga got a song, and she cancelled the nullifier from the Queen of Pain onto the Invoker there. That's why they had such a good fight by Recreational Hazard. So Naga kind of messing up the song. It's a good rush actually.
Yeah, it is really good rush because Queen of Pain doesn't really want to buy back also. But can they take it?
Queen of Pain wants to buy back now. If they know this, she wants to buy back. But now they don't know. I just think they just don't know. Now we see the pings coming out from Brewmaster to check if
Naga going to send the illusion.
Yeah, but it's too late. It's way too late.
Absolutely too late. But Naga does have to sleep if he wants to contest. No, he doesn't. So
Naga, they enchant the Naga.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
everything else Sven. Yeah, edges, cheese, and refresher shroud.
He gives the refresher to the Wyvern. Wyvern needs it more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like the Sven needs it as well because double GS, double BKB during the fight. I feel like that's very strong.
He doesn't need it because he's gonna just go hit the high ground with Aegis and try to get the tower with that. And then after his Aegis pops is when he's gonna use the BKB, etc. So the Wyvern getting 2 curses might be pretty good here.
Who did you give the cheese to? Cheese has also left Sven.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Maybe on the Leshrac. I feel like Leshrac needs a cheese.
Leshrac or Invoker. Oh, and they catch the
head onto the Ogre. Ogre will get taken out. He does that buyback down for 90 seconds. Sleep is going to be used. Gem on the ground.
Just get
Naga Siren casually walks in, picks up the gem and goes back to base.
He keeps on the floor. Okay, they're okay.
Sven pops the GS for this. Air Blast Riser does not catch the Sven. He's going to work on this tier 3 tower. Will take it down.
He's falling down.
As well. Now they want to get out. They need to really get out. Oh, he turns around. The Glimmer Cape. Oh, they stun on to the Naga side, but there is just not enough damage. He blinks out immediately, and meanwhile, the Winter Scale is going to be there onto the Brewmaster, catching out no one other than the Brewmaster. The stun is going to be there. Wyvern is
the tornado!
The tornado EMP with that cataclysm. Is he going to kill anyone? That's a Queen of Pen dead. He does a buyback down for 90 seconds, but
mid lane
is going to get pressured from the left.
I think the Russian took it out.
Finally, this guy has been at work for such a long time. Finally takes it down. And they really want to force this buyback. I think the Sven is a bit afraid to go because he does not have mana, one thing, and he does not have GS BKB.
Yeah, and Ogre has used his buyback, so
yeah, they'll be slightly happy with this, but they wanted something else. So they take down two tier 3 towers. This is anyone's game right now.
Yeah, I don't think Sven lost the Aegis though, right?
Yeah, he didn't lose it.
Yeah, he's okay. Sven has the Aegis still. They still want to go high ground. They didn't even use the refresher shard on the Wyvern.
This BO3 is going the distance already in game number 1, mind you. Yeah. And the thing is, this game number 1 is going to carry forward to the next game, because when you lose a really long game, you're already mentally drained going into the next game, and you haven't won that game. Yeah. So you're like, what was this game? Which was eHome versus EG, right? Where eHome was winning the game, and then EG managed to, like, by day gods and completely wipe them. And then eHome came into the next game and they were like complete Pepe gods.
And this, now we see the Sven with DD hitting
DD, BKB popped as well, and they will check down the
Sven is gonna die here.
Sven, no, the Cyclone saving him. But the stun from the Ogre, that he loses his Aegis, and now
Wyvern in this fight.
Wyvern needs to come. He needs to get a lovely blink off from the Sven Hawkeye.
Oh, the 4-star for the Ogre onto the Sven. Gonna get the Sven off.
Oh, the Cyclone keeping the Naga at bay, and now the EMP as well, controlling the Ogre. Ogre will get checked on. Jace popped again. The Ogre dead with a buyback for 120 seconds, and the sleep has to be forced from the Naga, keeping the Sven at bay.
They might catch the Leshrac here on the top.
Leshrac follow. He is dead with a buyback as well. The Cyclone keeping everyone at bay.
Oh, the Queen of Pain is back.
And the kill on to the Brewmaster. Queen of Pain is back. He's trying to TP out. Where is the net? Where is the fear is going to be there onto the Invoker, nullified up, dead for 100 seconds. That's that buyback. But a godlike streak for the Naga. But meanwhile, they're losing their next tier 4 tower as well. So many creeps in that tower. It's still healthy. Did they lose it?
I mean, no, I don't. I think it's alive. But then Naga, I mean, Sven does take the Rex though, mid lane.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. Like you don't want to fight against Megas, you know. So getting these racks one by one is okay. But right now it seems like this Naga has 10,000 gold. She picked up her Hex. She's probably going to sell the Diffuser. Does she get Aghanim Scepter? She probably does too, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to go. Oh, Sven needs to be really careful. He cannot afford to die here.
Oh, does she have Song? No, 20 seconds left.
Oh, so there was a one shot in this out. Sven will get taken down. He pops the BKB trying to TP out.
But he's dead.
He's dead. He gets bashed up as well. Who was the basher?
I think
I saw a basher. The Panda has a bash.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I saw him get bashed twice.
Yeah, he got bashed.
So this is go time for Portal Esports.
Now really look at Panda's farm. Like it just skyrocketed once they started winning fights. He just got a lot more farm, and he's really happy now. But
this network is just 6K though. It was like 18K at one point towards Portal Esports, and now it's like 6K.
Yeah, I think that was the towers, and they're farming less gold because the tracks are gone. All that stuff. Everything plays a part.
Technically, forget gold, forget experience, forget everything. Only thing that matters is that buyback status.
Yeah, but I mean, look, it jumped to 9K now, so.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, Sven just died. Like, highest net worth on Recreational Esports, just completely Pepe got there. I'm not sure he shouldn't have been there alone, man.
Yeah, and we can see this tower going. It's just gonna drop. I mean, Sven is gonna be as stubborn as he was all this before. I mean, they cannot deal with this Naga without Sven.
They do have Curse as well. They are trying to cancel. The stun is going to be there, as well as the Cyclone trying to keep this Naga. 30 seconds on the Sven. Sven is being very stubborn with this buyback. He does not want to buy back. They will lose this bottom tier. I mean, the Wax as well. The Hex is there onto the Naga, controlling him for the time being. But they will lose Wax here.
Yeah,
they will. But the Sven is now forced to buy back. They have one more lane of Wax surviving. Both teams have one.
They don't need a buyback. Now it's only 15 seconds left. So
yeah.
They're gonna just chill and get the runes.
There's a DD rune in the river.
But Naga, Quap is gonna pick it up most probably here.
Yeah, he picks it up.
Naga
picks it up.
They're going RS, but it's not up. Yeah. Maybe they thought they could get RS and.
Perfect timing though.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, little things though, right? See, when you see a DD rune like this, you expect someone to just immediately buy a bottle, ferry it forward, bottle that rune and keep it.
Yeah, she should have bought a bottle there if you like.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. She's still like this unkillable illusion-making machine, you know.
Yeah, I don't think Naga has gone down for the last, I don't know. I have lost count. Like, what is it, 60 minutes into the game?
Yeah.
For the last 30 minutes, he hasn't gone down.
EMP just removing the DD there. I don't know more DD from Naga.
Naga is like whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about it.
Doesn't care about a DD.
He has another 10,000 gold.
Yeah, she needs to buy back plus 6,000 gold. So.
He's really fat over meanwhile. For stuffing forward, they were trying to catch the Ench was forward. Ench really needs to take control of one of these creeps and try and split push. I mean, one of the Naga illusions and try and split push with this. And yeah, he immediately does that. He will use this to try and keep everyone at bay for the time being. But this fight is so important.
But the Leshrac is doing his job.
Again, split pushing. And the Invoker, I'm pretty sure he's gone for minus cooldown on the Tornado. He keeps Tornado in these creeps. And they really can't push.
No, they can. The Mid-Lane is pushing, so they do have that. The Queen of Pain taping back with the Ogre and the Panda just to kill off this Leshrac here. Leshrac in the bot lane might go down to the Queen of Pain.
Oh, he's still okay. He's still okay. He's not losing any of his life, and he's going to be able to walk away. Oh, he jukes!
Oh no, but everyone is there. They can.
Oh no, he tries to BKB. He got the bash. He's going to be there. He almost got out by the bash from the Brewmaster. He does a buyback. Immediate tip towards the Leshrac.
Making sure this Leshrac doesn't.
Oh, the Sven jumps in, the stun is not there onto the real Naga, the silence is there. But they cannot. Meanwhile,
but
A going to pop. Double hex is going to be used on the A. Meanwhile, Naga trying to go to work onto the BKB. Enchanter is getting healed up. Meanwhile, Sven with the BKB pop trying to go to work on the Queen of Pain. Invoker dies to the Queen of Pain.
Oh, the sleep here.
Blink out.
They might turn this.
Yeah, they are going to turn this. Sven does not have BKB and he does not have GS. The Invoker will need to buy, but the buyback is going to be the Hex up. Is there?
Double Hex!
To the Wyvern, and now the Cataclysm does kill off the Queen of Pain. Buys back immediately. Everyone has buyback into this fight other than the Naga side, and of course he does that.
Dude, the Ogre got a double Hex there.
Hex! Ogre multicast, let's go. He's so happy right now. And he's so fat. You're looking at a 6-slotted Ogre. Forget the gem, right? Like, you give the gem at this point to whoever. Who do you want to give the gem to?
I mean, even the Leshrac is farmed right now. Yeah. But, I mean, at this point, he cannot deal with the illusion.
Why is he going for Yasha Kaya, though?
It's a lot of damage with the Pulse Nova and stuff.
I feel like he needs another item to survive. Maybe like a refresher.
I mean, his job right now is...
split push.
Yeah, so...
Aeon Disc would be really good.
Aeon Disc is okay. But he still dies. It's like, it doesn't matter. He still dies.
If you can get the blink off with the Aeon Disc proc, maybe. Maybe. I really wanted Leshrac to survive.
Oh, Leshrac died immediately.
Caster's curse hitting him, dead without buyback, 120 seconds.
That only took a second. Like he can't really pick up any item right now. He just dies.
Meanwhile, Queen of Pain now looking to pick up his own eggs. This is like getting to the point where everyone has Moonshot, everyone has Aghanim Scepter. Because these healers actually farm fast as well. Queen of Pain farms really fast. Naga Siren farms obviously really fast.
The thing is, they have no buybacks on Recreational Hazard, so the next fight is just a win. I just think they're just delaying this game on Total Esports. Like, they can easily just go high ground now and then they'll be okay. Leshrac has no buyback, they know that from the last fight. So,
yeah.
They just need to, what they did is just pushed all the lanes, so they know shenanigans happen, and then they're just gonna push the top lane now.
Yeah, because they need to be worried about
DD on Brewmaster, that's crazy. That's
so much damage.
That's way too crazy, especially with the 25 talent. That's ridiculous. If he doesn't get tornadoed, he's gonna just mow down anyone, even the Sven. He'll just kill the Sven.
Yeah, and this Abyssal is such a good pickup to control the Sven on BKB. They are looking to push down this top tier 3 tower.
If you look at the Brewmaster, he might be going on to the Sven here.
He's looking to for an opening here. He's waiting for it. Meanwhile, the Naga will clean out this tier 3 tower top. That's the last.
There we go. Sven jumps onto the Brew.
The Brewmaster Cataclysm gets forced off. A lovely force down there from the A, and he will get the split off. And the Sven is going to be extremely sad. Meanwhile, we have another fight happening on the sideline. We do have the Nullify as well as the Hex on to the. Enchanter, lovely curse from the Winter Wyvern, keeping everyone at bay. Meanwhile, the Enchanter going to work, but the cheese, was that the cheese? He got healed automatically, but the Ogre will get taken out. That is the Ogre dead, but that is mega crit in favor of Total Esports. Another Cyclone going to be used, but the Invoker really needs to be careful. The Deframe does keeping everyone at bay. The song is going to be used, and they are going to they are going to be happy with it. They got mega crits. They lost the Brewmaster who doesn't have buyback, so they
he was making a lot of space, so it was okay. Yeah. I think the Invoker just missed Cataclysm twice there, and it just didn't they didn't have enough damage to take down the Naga there.
That clutch 4 stuff though, because the Brewmaster, if he did not get his split off, the Sven is going to have his BKB and the GS for the fight that was happening on the other side. Whereas he had to commit so much of time to kill the Brew.
But they do get Aegis now because they don't have buybacks. This is very good.
That is Aghanims, Cheese, Refresher, and Aegis.
Who do you give Aghanims to here?
Sven? But who do you buff damage on?
No. You don't give it to Sven. You give it to...
What does
Shrek?
What does Y1X do?
Y1X?
He actually picked up the eggs.
Or maybe he... I don't think that's the egg.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think that's the egg.
Like
even Enchantress is better than Sven.
Like he's the only one who is doing physical damage. You really don't need to buff up everyone else's physical damage. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain needs to be careful.
She gets stuck for DD. Like the number of DDs at this end game right now.
Shizzy with the DDs. Like what's that? Like 3 DDs that we saw.
Yeah, but now I mean Shizzy can just go and kill the Enchantress now.
Yep, with Nullify for sure.
Nullify BKB and she's dead.
Yep.
But Queen of Pain decides to TP back. Sadly.
Because
just missed
everyone is in base. They are trying to get mega creeps of their own, and the Lejrak gets cycled up, and he will clean that out.
Shiva's guard actually prematurely popped. They're going to end here.
Yes. Popped on the Sven, he wants to try and end this. He has the BKB ready. Queen of Pain blinks in with the stream, and the BKB as well gets nullified up. Sven is dead. He does have the Aegis spot, and now they are going to work on this. Throw the Lejrak on the side. He wants to take his damage. They will bring it down. What just happened? Recreational Esports. What?
That was that was not an ending you expected to see.
That ended really fast. Wow, man! Like we will be back with the post-match analysis shortly, so do stay tuned in for that. Hi guys and welcome back. What a game number 1 of this BO3, man.
That was pretty sensational.
Anticlimactic, to be honest.
Yeah. That Leshrac though.
MVP of the entire game.
What an annoying hero to deal with.
And now he's going to be on like cloud 9 because those guys were tipping him every time he died, and this guy just won that game.
Yeah, I like how they realized that
they can
we can just go. Like we have Aegis, and even if they kill me once, I'll just destroy the throne.
He's going to just sit there and just keep attacking the throne. I don't care.
And he made sure he kept his BKB as well. Yeah. So he doesn't get hit by the song, I think. And then they just finished the game.
And I feel like even like said that the Sven, like the problem there was you have the invoker who is going to be
cycloning you, and you can't
8 seconds or something.
Naga doesn't have anything to stop BKB. She doesn't have BKB.
And the Queen of Pain has to decide between.
No, Queen of Pain used everything on the Sven Aegis.
And then after that, who do you go on? Do you go on the Lejrak who is taking the target?
You have to go on Lejrak. That Lejrak Diabolic Edict was like he was the most annoying. Throughout the game. I mean, obviously that was mostly Sven who melted the throne, but the Leshrac also, kind of making it really hectic, but a really amazing win coming off from Recreational Hazard here.
Yeah, it looked for a moment that Portland Esports had it in the back and they were just playing
it honestly looked like that. Yeah. It honestly looked like I think they played a bit too safe. To be completely honest, I'm pretty sure they played too safe because they could have just they could have bought Boots of Travels, and even if they died in base, they could have just TP'd back because they have mega creeps, right? They're not like if the Leshrac is pushing another lane, they can push faster than them because they have Naga, right? Even if they die, they can buy back TP Boots in, and they knew at some point before when they got the double hex on the Ogre, in that fight they bought back, so they knew some of the heroes didn't have buyback. But because they just, they went back as soon as the Panda died with the, I think it was the Ogre, Panda and the Ogre died, they just got Aegis. And with that Aegis, it's such a big deal.
And mind you.
And that Aghanim Scepter actually helped. That Aghanim Scepter on the Sven actually helped.
Plus damage
on the Leshrac. No, it was on the Leshrac. Yeah, it was.
And mind you, TI is not the only place that there are mega creep comebacks. We just saw mega creep comeback right here in the playoffs of the IGE South Asia Cup, and of course that was just game number 1 between Recreational Hazard and Portland Esports. We do have another 2 or at least another 1 more game coming your way, so do stay tuned in for that. And of course, tournament MVP going to be walking away with that Intel NUC, the Hades Canyon Intel Core i7 8th Gen with that Vega graphic card built into this compact device, 1 TB SSD, 16 GB of RAM, and this thing is sleek, it's elegant, and you can just carry it around everywhere.
Yeah, it has all the ports you need, everything from the SD card slot to the Thunderbolt USB.
Yeah.
It's everything you want in a compact, you know, small, you know, this is a device, small device, and you can carry it everywhere you want.
Yeah.
You can use it for any games you want to play because it's as powerful as you want. You can even your VR, for your VR needs, you can use this. So
definitely, it's one of these, and that skull. Like
yeah, the skull.
Yeah.
And it comes in different colors too, so that's really
Really?
cool.
Oh, that I didn't know. That's actually pretty cool.
Red and green.
Nice. And of course, the Cloud 2 HyperX headset, which is going to go towards the Gamer's Choice Award, which is going to be voted for you guys who are watching from home, and of course, the best support player, the best carry player, and the Unkillable Award, which looks like an Enchantress, some Enchantress player in this tournament.
Some Enchantress player. Not this one, she kept dying.
Yeah, she kept dying. Some Enchantress player. And then, of course, tournament MVP again is going to be walking away with the Cloud 2 headset. So, prize money,
yeah,
Cloud 2 headset, and the Intel NUC.
Yeah.
Very
happy
happy
with that. Yeah.
You're happy.
And dude, I just can't get over that Leshrac.
Leshrac tournament MVP?
Yeah.
It's like a what?
Yeah.
But definitely do stay tuned in. We have another match or two coming your way. Basically between Recreational Hazard and of course Portal Esports. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
First blood is a nice, great honor.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is being denied. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
I'm avenged.
This only happens when you're around.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Haste! The pain. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Where are you going?
Hello and welcome back everyone to the in-game Esports South Asia Cup online powered by Intel. I'm your caster Nightbait and with me is Terror.
Hi man, so we had a very interesting game number 1 between Portal Esports and of course Recreational Hazard, which was a really interesting game.
Yeah.
Kind of an anticlimactic ending because
Yeah.
it was really building up to be like a 1.5 hour game, but in the end Recreational Hazard just pulling out the last play from the bag.
Goodness gracious, that play.
Yeah.
I really thought the Sun Agnems was like a meme. Like I was for sure like there are better Agnems that was give it to, and then it actually helped in the end.
Yeah, I feel like against the Naga,
take
like,
down the throne.
Lejrak would have been good, and even what does the Y1X do?
I
can't remember.
I can't remember myself.
Yeah, because if I remember
Wyvernax is the Arctic burn whenever you're...
Okay. I was thinking about the alt. The entire
yeah, same. And then...
Anyhow,
Anyway,
very interesting game number 1, and of course game number 2. I feel like Portal Esports really need to bring their A game, because I feel like they got a little bit overconfident after they got that mega creeps. They thought they had the game.
I feel like they were playing too scared. Like the Naga was really strong.
Yeah.
She always kept after she got mega creeps, she just TP'd back to base. Whereas she could have stayed and done a lot more, because they can't kill her really.
Yeah,
it's very
she
hard.
had buyback. Even if she dies, she's able to come back, and they had to commit so much to kill the Naga at that point.
Yeah, I felt like she could have pressured. She could have at least not let them take the... I mean, they could have got the T4s at least, and then gotten back or something like that. But because they got back and started just pushing out the lanes, they got Aegis on Sven, and then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, and 100% MVP for that game, the Leshrac.
Leshrac,
yeah.
oh goodness.
When they realized that they could not deal with the Naga during fights very well, he just let the team take the fight, maybe kill off 1 or 2 supports, and kept on split pushing from that point
He
onwards.
just didn't come to the fights.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna go, you guys do your thing, Invoker just tornado people, just buy time for me, I'm just gonna keep pushing, and he kept dying and dying, but it was like, whatever, I pushed the lanes and now you can't push against us, is basically what he did.
I think Leshrac realized, I think it was one fight right after Naga got hurt where he was actually in the fight. When the Leshrac realized that he was not doing enough to deal with the Naga illusions, he was like, even as a core Leshrac at that point in the game, Skadi Heart is a lot of HP.
Yeah, you can't really deal with that. I feel like as soon as... That's why I felt like the Naga was so strong that game, because they couldn't really deal with her. Even the Sven couldn't. Yeah. Like, he died to illusions. Like, it was sad.
we all of us missed that. But it had to be to the illusions, because the real Naga was somewhere else.
She was in the jungle farming, and then Sven was just dead on the map to Naga.
I felt like the Sven got hit by the
AA blast. Yeah, exactly.
I remember an AA blast flying over everyone's heads there. But that was very weird for this one to just die to
Maybe he was just, clearing the creeps, and then the AA blast just hits him out of nowhere, and then he dies to like 1 more Riptide or something. But either way, that was a really interesting game. Props to Leshrac for playing that game pretty well. I mean, even the Sven and the Invoker, I think, played well. I mean, there was a few mistakes, obviously, from both teams, but I think overall the Leshrac played a really good game.
I think Invoker, the mistake that he did was he was more focused on running around, and he fell behind farm quite a bit. Whereas Shizzy, even though a bit of a weird laning stage and kills here and there, which was all on supports, she was farming the entire time. The co-op kept up with the farm.
Yeah, I think she just got kills all over the map, which is how she's supposed to play the game. Yeah. And then because of those kills, she just kept getting momentum, and she just kept getting farm. Even though there were supports, it's still gold, And then as soon as she got the first few items, she can like freely use her mana to farm camps and waves, and she won't really lose that much from doing that. And then she just snowballs, She gets really strong.
And the Ogre was so tanky, double hex.
Yeah,
with the
that double hex, multicast hex,
Near the shrine, that was, And Invoker actually in that fight, Invoker refreshed and used his own hex twice on just the
A and A on this pop.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, there are a few mistakes once or twice, heat of the moment, it's end game, 60 minutes in, you make a few mistakes.
Because I mean, these games are not easy, especially running into lineups like the Naga.
Yeah.
And when you're playing heroes like Invoker, where you're constantly laying out spells, and Invoker is one of those high skill cap heroes. It's like playing a Tinker for 60 minutes. It's really hard because you're always draining.
I mean, when you're playing Naga, it's a lot of work as well. You're controlling all of your illusions. You're trying to farm all the camps, trying to push all the lanes, trying not to get caught, all those things.
But I think Invoker played really well when it came to his
stalling the fights. You got the 3-man tornadoes, you got the EMPs.
His ice walls were absolutely on point that entire game. He got some sick ice walls off, especially on everyone who was trying to run back. And that one last ice wall when the Sven was dead and they didn't want the Sven to buy back, he actually ice walled in a way that they kept only the Naga inside base and the rest of the team outside. Yeah. And Queen of Pain couldn't commit where he blinks forward, because if he blinks forward, then he just gets hexed up and dies. So they were in a bit of a lose-lose situation there of whether they actually want to contest that high ground with an ice wall, blocking that entire way. And I think Invoker stalling out that game, absolutely amazing stall, especially due to that minus cooldown on the tornado. Kept on spamming it.
Good pickup, honestly. Yes.
Yeah. Most people will go for the radial differing blast just because of a Naga, because you want to try and control as much of the fight as possible.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Tornado really helped. And Sven...
And I mean, that Panda, we didn't talk about the Panda much,
Yeah.
but the Panda got so strong late game. I mean, the crit talent at 25 is just so absurd.
Yeah.
It's like he can just, burst anyone down if he really wants to.
That was the only reason that they were able to hold that long, because they picked up a basher on the Panda, and Panda was the only one who was being sent back to deal with the Leshrac.
Yeah, Leshrac, goodness.
And Leshrac cannot TP out at that point at all, just because of so much damage, as well as the bash procs where you can't TP out.
Yeah.
And Leshrac at one point had a blink dagger. I don't know whether he had it towards the end of the game as well.
He might have sold it, but I'm not sure. I didn't see Leshrac's items at the end. But
yeah, but I feel like that blink pickup also really helped him, because he was in and out, pushing a couple of waves, then blinking on.
Yeah, very annoying. Yeah. He stalled the game really well, I feel like. Yeah, I think when you know that there's this hero that can do that in the other enemy team, you have to protect your creep wave, you have to go with the creep wave. Otherwise, you're never going to get to go with the high ground, because he's just going to keep doing that. I think it felt like the Leshrac was playing the Naga, because usually the Naga does that, cuts the creep wave, stops you from pushing, but Leshrac just did it himself. It was pretty funny.
Game 2 is going to be interesting, because I want to see what Portal Esports do, because I feel like they're not going to run with the Naga again. They don't want to.
I mean, so far, this tournament, picking Naga in the first phase has resulted in a loss.
Loss, exactly.
So,
at least during the playoffs.
Yeah, during the playoffs.
First phase Naga seems like a bad idea. And I feel like Naga, to prioritize it in the first phase, is a bit weird, especially when you have the likes of heroes like Tiny was open in the pool. They had Leshrac open as well, because that's like after the first phase of ban.
Elder Titan.
Yeah.
Those heroes are all very, very strong. I mean, maybe we're thinking too far ahead, because those were all heroes that were picked up the TI. They're very strong, but then teams have to adjust to that, to understand why it's strong.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes some time to get used to it, so people are still used to playing with their comfort heroes, and that's what they're really showing off in the playoffs here.
And ET is a hero that came out only during TI, because even pre-TI it was not really a favorite pick.
I think it was like you can do more than a shaker, and you did the same thing as a shaker.
Yeah.
You like make your magic damage higher, and you reduce the armor, and you have this long range stun. You have this big ultimate.
Yeah.
So it's like, without putting yourself in danger, you can always do a lot with that hero, I feel like. And obviously the early game pressure is a lot more than a shaker. If you can put it through a few camps and put on the heroes as well, you have like immense amount of damage.
Yeah, the trading capability on ET is just absolutely insane. We saw enough and more during TI, the ET being extremely good at just trading hits in the lane. And one of the reasons why he's really good as a position 5, because when you have a position 5 who is that strong, early game trading in the lane, then it makes your safe lane a much more safer way.
And he's happy, right? Like, you're trading regen with both of the other two heroes, and your safe lane already has, he doesn't need to use his regen that much, and so if they do decide to go on the ET and kill the ET, then he's okay with it, because he has so much regen. He doesn't need to get out of the lane and wait for the ET to come back. He can just contest them.
Do you think Portal will go for the same bans with like a Legion Commander Lina and what was it?
Maybe, like we don't. There are a few things we don't know about Recreational Hazard. I haven't seen this team too much, so maybe Portal Esports has done their homework.
Yeah.
And they know these heroes are really good on certain players, and they just don't want to give it to them. So we might see the same bans, or we might just be like, okay, if we want to run the Naga again, let's remove certain heroes, like remove the Sven, / remove, someone else,
For sure.
Yeah. That's right.
I feel like Recreational Hazard also need to change up their pace, because I feel like against the Naga lineup, they were a little bit greedy as well, because when you're running into a Naga, you cannot afford to go with grid, because the Naga is obviously going to outgrid you at one point of the game.
At some point. Yeah, it looked like that game, like Naga could have done a lot, I feel like, but...
And Portal, Recreational Hazard really need to change it up if they actually do run into a Naga again. I feel like if you see a Naga, the play that Might Revenge pulled out is really good. Heroes like Spirit Breaker, Darkseer, where you can... a two-hero combo which just can run into heroes and kill everyone.
And that can kill the illusions in the lane. That's pretty important, since you don't want the Naga to be pushing the offlane out of the lane, because that just gives her way too much farm. You always want to be winning the Naga lane, because that hero is not very strong, and there are a lot of things that can counter the Naga in the lane, like Tiny, the Darkseer, like we saw, any sort of AoE, even the Rubik can just destroy the illusions from the Naga so easily that she can't really lane very well. and if she has a lane that she can just use her illusions very well on, then she's very happy. Like she can get travels, Manta and Diffusal at 20. Like it's pretty crazy.
I really think like tournaments like this is what actually helps, because it gives the exposure for them to compete against other teams in the South Asian region and get get a read on what they are playing as well and how strong you are.
And obviously, the tournament MVP award is going to be the Intel NUC, obviously, also known as the Hades Canyon. It's specially designed so that the Intel and the graphics card is integrated into one chip, which makes it really small and compact and portable. And it's also very, very strong. I mean, powerful PC. It has the Intel Core i7, has the Radeon RX Vega MGH, 1 TB SSD, 16 GB RAM.
This is a very fast device. I mean, like the i7 88 Gen processor itself is a very fast processor. And the 1 TB SSD obviously boosting up your performance quite exponentially than having a standard HDD. And of course, all the ports under the sun that you might ever want is built into this device. You have Thunderbolt USB ports, you have the normal USB 3 ports, you have your HDMI, you have your headset connectivity, as well as your network capability as well. So you do have all the devices, I mean all the ports that you can possibly need as a gamer to plug in your peripherals. Yeah,
and I think this is perfect for any type of game you want to play with it. You can do your if you want to be like, it's pretty good for graphics designers as well. You can take it to your workplace and take it home as well and work both ways, both places if you really want. It's also very good if you want to have, VR. VR is this new thing that everybody's really excited to use, and this device can easily run that.
Yeah, and I mean this, like, if you want a perspective of how small this device is, you can see right now it is a very small device, and it's such a powerful piece for a device of this form factor. And
it's like the size of my hand.
Exactly. And this is where the nice
skull logo.
And as a gamer, those aesthetics really matter. And I mean, I love those aesthetics. For me, any day that I'm building a very high-end PC or something, the aesthetics are such a key factor, and to be able to have all of that built into this small device, I mean, it's a gamer's paradise.
Yeah, it's honestly like, like I told you the other day, LAN parties become much easier with something like this. I remember we used to carry these huge PCs around when we were young, if you wanted to play multiplayer LAN together, but yeah, this makes our lives a lot more easier.
Even right now, right? Because you want to when you get into a LAN party, and if you really want to carry around a device, you tend to carry around a laptop. And laptops in general, we know, does not perform as well as
a
PC. But whereas with this device, you have PC grade performance, equal PC grade performance in a very small device where you can just carry it around and just plug in a monitor.
And some people might say, like, you don't need LAN party now, there's the internet, but those are the people that haven't actually been to a LAN
party.
It's
still a huge thing, because that's why internet cafes and gaming cafes are such a popular idea, because people still want to play LAN, you want to play with your friends. And
it's a lot of fun.
Exactly, that's what makes the whole
gaming experience.
Esports and gaming makes fun because of the connectivity that you have with your friends who play the game as well.
And you can even meet people there, meeting people, having more friends, and all that stuff.
And Intel NUC allows you to do that in a very portable way, with carrying less devices and less stress carrying massive devices. And of course, we do have so many awards being given away. Of course, the HyperX Cloud 2 headset being given away for the gamer's choice. Like, gamer's choice is going to be decided by all the viewers who are watching at home. Of course, the polls are happening, already started on the IGE page on Facebook. Do check that out as well to vote for your gamer of choice. And the best support player as well is going to be walking away with the HyperX Cloud 2, the best carry player, the Unkillable award, and of course the tournament MVP. Tournament MVP is going to be very happy, most probably going to be from a winning team of the entire tournament. Not generally how things work. So that guy is going to be extremely happy, because he's going to be walking away the prize money, the Intel NUC, as well as the Cloud 2 headset from HyperX. So a lot of awards being given away, and these are the incentives that is necessary to bring up an esports scene. And South Asia does have the potential. I mean, all these
it does. It honestly does. Like, I think we need a little bit more exposure. We need more tournaments like this to actually make these players stand out in the scene, so that if, let's say, if it's a really, really successful team, then they are actually considered as scrim partners for some teams.
Exactly.
You know, like maybe Mineski wants to scrim with one of the players after watching one of the games here. It's, you know, it's a big deal for some of these teams.
For sure, and that platform doesn't come around every time, and when that platform is there, I mean, the amount of teams that we had at the tournament is just amazing to see.
Yeah.
So many teams in South Asia wanting to take part, and of course, all the top teams here, like in the playoffs, you have like 4 really good teams, and all 4 teams have players of Immortal top 500, top 100. These are players. They are not your average Dota 2 player. They're very high
skilled. They're skilled players.
Exactly.
Like you'd consider like maybe top 2000 Immortal. That's still not there yet.
Yeah.
But these players are not even close to that. They're like top 500.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, lower than 500. They're all these really, really skilled players.
I think we saw a top 200 at one point and a top 500 from that was from Global Esports, I think, which had a top 200 player.
So, all of these people are competing with the Southeast Asia members, like the Malaysians and the Singaporeans. They're competing with them, and they're considered to be the dominant of the Asian region. They dominated, but right now it looks like, you know, the South Asia region is coming up.
Yeah, and tournaments like this is what gives them the exposure. So hats off to in-game esports for making sure that all these people have a platform to showcase their skills and get recognized, because that's what you want at the end of the day. You have your own teams as well, but as players, as individuals, you want your skill level to be recognized by other organizations.
And as soon as they're recognized, you just keep, you know, snowballing into this successful stream of more successful stream. Like right now, of course it's low. It's not you can't get tournaments every day. It's not like it's not easy to make it your full-time job or anything like that. But this is what starts it. You know, it starts from here and then it just gets better after that.
Yeah, and I mean we have really good examples in the international scene, such as, like, you know, you have people like Thompson, who just came out
from nowhere.
I mean, he was a pub star. Like, just one of the already established players just saw him play, and he was like, "This guy is good.
Try him out."
Try him out, and that was because he was probably streaming at that time, and someone caught the stream and told him, you know, there is this player. So,
and also just being really skilled, you get to play in the bracket of the really good players. Like Sebastian was talking about. He encountered Thompson in a lot of his pubs, and he felt annoyed with him.
Yeah.
That's why he even thought about getting Thompson, because he was like, when I get annoyed with a player, I know they're good.
Good, exactly.
Yeah, so then, so you know, these players do play with those, you know, high skill players as well.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's a common norm or kind of a thing that goes around saying that, you know, SCA is the hardest region when it comes to Dota 2 to climb the ladder when it comes to rank. And that kind of translates into how competitive the scene is, because the amount of people in the SCA region who are they are so passionate. I think when it comes to crowd
and fans,
I think the Asian region is the most passionate when it comes to it, and that kind of translates into the game where the community. You have so many people in the community who are playing the game, and it's really hard to climb the ladder. And so, you know, when you take SCA Immortal, those guys had to grind it out to get there.
That's true.
It's not an easy climb at all. And it just goes to show how good these players are.
I would disagree with you being the hardest region to climb.
Yeah.
I think the European have a higher amount of skilled players because the European just has so many countries and with so many people with access to Dota more than the Southeast Asian region, because there are a lot of people that don't really have access or the time to play Dota as much as the European region does. So I think they have a little bit more skilled players, but the C region does have a lot of skilled players as well.
Yeah.
And it is hard. It's not as easy as NA. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, everyone in the Asian region who plays rank knows how hard it is to climb rank in the region. And I feel like even you and I, we kind of
So right now we're seeing that we just got information that Portal Esports are the winners, and the Recreational Hazard has given a walkover.
Oh, that's sad. So Recreational Hazard has given a walkover to Portal Esports. They will be moving forward in the bracket.
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate. I mean, I was excited to see a game number 2 from these guys, because these guys are good. Both teams are super good.
I mean, they won the first game.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Personal reasons, I mean, we are still in a day and age where the scene is developing, so it's not always easy to play late into the night multiple games. I definitely understand they might have had their personal reasons, but Nevertheless, so we do have the bracket now. You can see the bracket on screen. Semi-finals is going to be between Global Esports and Portal Esports from, which is going to be a really good match as well. I feel like these both these teams are really good. And even the low bracket match now, My Revenge versus Recreational has I mean, all 4 teams I feel like
are pretty strong.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Potential to get the win, win the tournament. You know.
I feel Global Esports is the strongest right now, but team My Revenge
took a game off them. So they're not like immortal.
Exactly. You can do it, and we have seen even in the international scene, lower bracket runs, you know, the underdogs taking the entire tournament. You know, things like that can happen, and I feel like then Global Esports being really strong, the rest of the teams are very equally matched.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
All these teams have the potential of taking the title home.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think since the walkover has been given away and Portal Esports have won, that's gonna be it from us for today. So make sure you catch us tomorrow for the next. I think it's gonna be Global Esports versus Portal Esports.
No,
it's gonna be My Revenge versus
Yeah.
Recreational has us tomorrow. So make sure not to miss it, guys. Thanks for watching.
Sure. Thank you.
First blood is a nice, great honor.
Structures are fortified. Fit for a queen. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Where are you going?
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is being denied. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks have fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.